Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. We're doing another what we've been playing. We got a lot of games that we've been playing, and we want to yap about them. I love these kind of episodes because it really just kind of lets us... We talk about big topics. We talk about big picture gaming industry stuff, do tier lists, do rankings and such. But this is just us focusing, narrowing down on video games, the medium that we love, and just kind of getting to celebrate them a little bit. In some instances, kind of crap on them. Depends on what we've been playing. But yeah, for the most part, we're just yapping about games. It's going to be a good time. Nick, how we doing?
Doing well. It's an interesting spot that we're in right now because it's a what we've been playing episode, but we can't, like, in that section, discuss actually what we've been playing for the past week, which for you has been Black Myth. For me, it's been a lot of Concord and a little bit of Black Myth.
I want to do a little bit of Black Myth talk.
Sounds good.
Just a tad.
Yeah, just a taste.
Because I don't want to reiterate the same thing over and over again. We're going to do a proper full review for Black Myth next week and have like a whole discussion about it. Maybe we'll fit Star Wars Outlaws in there depending on if Nick can beat it in time. Early access is Tuesday for Outlaws.
We're not going to rush Outlaws. Obviously, we're not rushing Black Myth. The sort of mindset of the team is always... We'll beat it when we beat it. We want to give these games ample time if they deserve that time. If we don't get codes for something, we just shrug the shoulders and say, all right, we'll get to it when we get to it. We do take it seriously, though. Like, Connor's still diving deep into Black Myth right now.
What I would say is that, like, the way that I think about it is when I'm listening to a podcast or curious about somebody's thoughts about something, I'm usually coming to it after I've finished the game. I don't want it spoiled for me. I don't really want somebody else's opinion to affect my opinion. So give people time to play the game. You know, people are still working their way through Black Myth. This game's big. This game's long, seemingly. I'm only on chapter 4, and I'm like 25 hours in. So you guys take your time. I'll get through it, and whenever you're done, the podcast is ready there for you to enjoy. I think people are more interested in just hearing us talk about the game rather than like end all be all. I'm going to purchase the game if they say it's good. I'm sure there's some people who utilize us like that, but I would say for the most part, people just kind of want to hear our take. That's what you're here for.
When we get something for embargo purposes and stuff like that, we do push it and we make sure we get it done so we can hit that date to potentially help with the purchase decision.
But if you're not first, you're last, in my opinion. So you might as well just, if you're not there at embargo when all the reviews go up, you might as well just post it when you're done and have like a full-fledged opinion on it.
Totally. And especially with just our schedules and life and everything.
Right. It's been crazy.
Well, I mean, it is currently crazy. It feels crazy. Like I last weekend beat 3 games technically. Like my weekend kicked off Thursday technically, so it was Kingdom Hearts, Cuphead, Odyssey, all the games that we will discuss today. Just like, and then I was like, all right, time to play Concord, time to play Black Myth. And I mean, I've put in 9 hours into Black Myth. Like, it's hefty. Really? It's fun. Yeah.
Interesting. I thought it was less just based on where you are, but I guess you're cruising. You're an Elden Lord, so you're just so good.
I'm doing a lot of the side stuff too, and like that second area, I explored a lot to get to the Tiger, which has been apparently a lot of people are like the Tiger.
Tiger's tough. The final boss of chapter 2 is like where it really picks up in my opinion. But it gets a lot easier if you get a special item that you have to do this whole quest line for. And that was a turning point for me where I was like, oh, this game's great rather than like just good. Okay. When like I was doing that whole quest line, I was like, oh, this game's a lot deeper than I thought it was.
Yeah. So, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to get more into it. I've been on the grind of 2 things. That's the other thing. I do have another game I'm going to throw in, another just small one. I'll combine it with Cuphead during a section where I'll do a couple small ones back to back.
What's the other one?
It's Tekken 8. I'm so fucking back, dude. It's insane. We'll get there when we get there. But I'm doing well. This has been a good week for me. A lot of fun games. It's always a fun one when you're on the team and it's us all playing different shit. Like, you've been playing and focusing on Black Myth. I'm focusing on Concord. Brady's playing Rebirth still. And we're all having those conversations and able to be like, oh, like, how is it? And, like, just, like, the phone calls post-stream and stuff like that have been so much fun. It's just been a great week. How have you been?
I'm good. I'm just, like you said, we're on the grind. Like, I'm really excited about Cup 64 and kind of where we're at right now. I like at least seeing the number go burr. Like, I like the growth. It's exciting that people are excited about it and people are going on this ride with us, and we get a lot of positive feedback. We get some negative feedback that I do like to take to heart, but like for the most part, I'm just like, I'm just really reveling in this whole situation. So
Yeah, I mean,
it never gets old.
We're not going to say the exact numbers, but we did have a moment where I literally was like, I'm going to start keeping track of a lot of our analytics, like, and just make sure that we're seeing where the numbers are going, and we're able to go and adjust based off those things. And literally, Connor was like, "Hey, do you see the audience size for Spotify?" And I was like, yeah, like I checked it last Sunday, like a week ago, and he said the number, and I literally said, "Holy shit, what?" And then he showed me it, and I was like, "That has to be wrong." And then we double checked it, and it was right. I was like, "Fuck! Oh wait, okay."
Yeah.
So,
So
thanks for all the support over there.
Yeah, we're going at a good clip, which is really exciting. Like beyond our wildest dreams, the support has been amazing. So thank you guys so much for supporting us and listening and sharing it with your friends or whatever you do to help support us. It's awesome. But with that in mind, let's hop into the housekeeping for this episode. I got a few things to run into before we get into the episode proper. First being Apple Podcast reviews. I want to harp on this right off the top because it does seemingly help a lot. If you're enjoying the podcast, whether you watch it on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, if you go over to Apple Podcast, give it a nice review, give it 5 stars or whatever you really want. Write something if you'd like, but it really helps out the channel and really gives us a nice. It puts it in front of more people, which is certainly helpful. So if you can do that, that would be great. Big announcement we have coming up. Our first ever meet and greet / panel. This has been planned for a long time because of your support on Co-op 64 Day. We hit our furthest stretch goal, which said that we would do a meet and greet, and we thought we would do it around the Ohio Retro Gaming Convention, which is in Columbus in November 2nd. We reached out to them. They got back to us eventually. There was a whole long process to finally get a response, but they said, yes, we would love you to have a panel here. The panel is from 11:30 to 12, 30 minutes of just hanging out. The idea that we have as of right now, and I think this is the locked-in idea probably, the Co-op 64 community's top 10 games of all time. We will be guessing it, doing a live top 10 guessing list like you've seen us do on TikTok. We'll be talking about the games, roasting you guys for not having certain games on there. It'll be a lot of fun. 30 minutes of hanging out. Then we're going to be enjoying the convention, buying retro stuff, hanging out, walking the floor, and then that night we will be doing a meet and greet at a local barcade. So I just want to throw that out there now. It's really early. It's late August. We got a few months. But if you have any plans or would like to come meet us and come hang out with us, come to the panel, join the Discord. It'll help you kind of stay up to date on that. But November 2nd, I'll be harping on this probably every week until it's time.
Yeah, and I mean, it deserves to be harped on. This is obviously not just like one of the biggest goals we had, but the fact that they reached out back and were like, yeah, let's do a panel, let's have some fun, let's figure this whole thing out, was pretty shell-shocking for us, where, I mean, I reached out to them, I think 5 or 6 times. Like, literally somebody in the Discord would be like, hey, have they gotten back to you yet? And I would just pull up my email and shoot another email out. And it was awesome that they got back and have been helping with details. And there's a lot of behind-the-scenes fun that comes along with something like this, but it's definitely a lot. This has just been like a probably crazy 2 weeks where like we worked with, like, we got review codes for Concord. We'll say that when we review it and everything. We'll do that whole thing. We're going to be discussing Indiana Jones during this episode and getting to go and have that Q&A and that behind closed door look at Indiana Jones with the devs, working with Machine Games and Xbox. Like, that was just so fucking cool. And so now here we are, a lot of great opportunities, but the meet and greet is going to be awesome. I promise you, I can't speak for the whole team. I assure you I will at least bring it, but I swear to you, the whole team probably will bring it. We're going to be having a great fucking time during the panel. And then during the meet and greet, it's just going to be one of those things of, hey, we're having a drink, say what's up. Say, like, even if you're not a huge fan of ours, you're grab a drink, hang out.
Yeah, it's going to be at a barcade, so there'll be games to play, games to hang out and enjoy. But also, our community is really friendly and really kind. We just base off of interacting with them through Twitch and the Discord and everything, that like they're very welcoming. So if you're new and would like to kind of keep up to date with the community and all the happenings, join the Discord. Link in the bio on the TikTok, as well as a link to our merch, co-op64store.com.
Yep.
Right. For merch, but there's also a link in the bio for that. We have our Twitch streams Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Concord this week on Monday with me, Brady, and Nick. Then Nick playing Wind Waker on Tuesday and Thursday, and I am back playing The Last of Us Grounded Mode on Wednesday. Yeah, anything else?
I last thing I want to go and harp on with Torg is it's special because it will never be this small again. The next time
just fall off completely.
yeah, that's true. But my thought process is if you come, you're gonna be one of the cool people that were there. And we're actually be able to have a great conversation and have a conversation for 5, 10, 15 minutes and not just have it be, hey, what's up? Just moving on. And so, yeah, it's never going to be this ever again. And I think that this in November is going to be really special.
Yeah,
so
it'll be
we'll love to see you there.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be super fun. Very excited. Anticipating it, but it comes up so fast. The months are just flying by. November felt so far away in January when we announced that we were doing a meet and greet, and then it was okay, now it's here. It's on top of us all of a sudden. So
August went like that, and so we're really going to see where things go. This week is going to be awesome, playing a lot of great games, and then reviews and reviews and reviews, and all of a sudden we have our big board that we go and have all the game releases of importance up for us that we're going to be reviewing and stuff like that. And it's all right, this September-October window that is a lot of games is right around the corner. There are so many titles, and then the second that those get over with, it's Torg, and then it's getting ready for
Game Awards.
Cody's dude, getting ready for the Game Awards, and then Call of 64 Day.
Right on. All right, let's hop into the hot takes, the episode proper. I'll kick it off this week. My gaming hot take is to let the past die, kill it if you have to. In my opinion, we got to let some of these IPs just go away. Mass Effect, one of my favorite IPs of all time. We don't need another one. It's okay to let it go. It's fine. It is what it is. It was what it was, and it was amazing. We don't talk about drama, but it was amazing. Uncharted, one of my favorite series of all time. Let it go. It's done. We don't need another Uncharted. There's been rumors, there's been swirling talks of another Uncharted at some point. We don't need it. Let it go. People talk about those classic mascot games like Sly Cooper and Jack and Dexter. It's fine. They were great. They were so fun. I loved them. Let it go. God of War, we brought it back for God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. It's done. We don't need another God of War. Let's get some new IP. Let's get some new, fresh faces in here. We can't just be doing the same thing over and over again. We have to get some new, fresh ideas, and the way to do that is we have to let some things go. Do I sometimes I would love Kingdom Hearts to go for forever, but do I want an ending to Kingdom Hearts? Yes, I do. Just let it end. I think they could have stopped at 3. We're obviously going to get 4 and probably a million more after that, but it's okay to let it end. There's also stuff like Final Fantasy where it's an anthology series and it doesn't have any connection. So I'm cool with that. That can go forever, honestly, because it's changing it up with every entry. But for stuff that is a continuous thing or a long running series, it's okay. It's okay to just let it die.
I agree. This is a take that I honestly wholeheartedly love, and it comes back to the thing that we get pretty often asked when we're doing either TikTok or Twitch, and we're getting those questions, and it's, oh, would you want them to bring Jack and Dexter back? Would you want them to bring this series back? I'm like,
in a perfect world, maybe.
Yeah, but that's not going to either make enough money, and then that studio is going to suffer from it, or that studio could have been working on something new and cool.
Yeah.
And
why can't we get a new Jack and Dexter? Why can't we get a new third person?
Platformer shooter.
Game?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be Jack and Dexter?
Exactly.
We can get something weird and interesting and new. It can be a spiritual successor to Jack and Dexter, but let's make a new IP. Let's get weird with it.
I completely agree. Love the take. My gaming hot take for today: Pokemon Go is the best Pokemon game. It's time to say it. It's time to get this hot take out there. It's something that I've believed for a very long time, and it's just one of those that I just need to say and let it happen. Pokemon Go is the best Pokemon game. Here's why. The formula that Pokemon originally presented and the turn-based RPG mechanics that it has are extremely amazing, and I'm not taking away from what it did with Red and Blue. But it has gone stale in a way that is not successful. It's not something you look forward to. It honestly, what a great take that you just had.
That you look forward to.
Yeah,
the people
here's the thing.
look forward to.
It's not that I don't look forward to. It's the fact that even the fans that look forward to it have an understanding that it's just another Pokemon game. There's not that fever. There's not that like holy shit moment that really gets people back in unless it's hitting on nostalgia or it's hitting on something really wild and different like Arceus. It's okay to go and have those things of the past be like really exciting and the nostalgia bit hit, but let's just go and get outside. Let's touch grass, baby, and have those nostalgia beats hit. You want to know what feels amazing? Me catching Pikachu. Not just like on the go, but literally getting the opportunity to find and then throw the ball and get them in my inventory. Come on. That's what it's all about. Building out your own Pokedex. That's what Pokemon is to me. It is catching your mons and having a good time and building out that catalog. And Pokemon Go does that expertly. There's only a few moments in the world that we've ever come close to world peace. In 2016, when Pokemon Go released, we almost got there. It was that level of magic. And Pokemon Go hasn't seen that magic since Red and Blue. And honestly, if like someone's like, oh, I'm kind of interested in Pokemon, it's super accessible. It's free. It's right there. You don't need to pick up a retro console to play it. It's so much fun. You have it in your pocket. Anytime I go to a big city, I download it just to catch a few Pokemon. I love it. Pokemon Go is the best Pokemon game.
Right on. I don't agree, but I do love Pokemon Go. I think Pokemon Go is great. I had a ton of fun with it, and I played it well after that fever died down. I played it until like 2018, 2019, maybe. Yeah, I played it through like all of college. Laura and I, every single time we went and visit each other because we were doing long distance, go on walks, play some Pokemon Go, have a good time, do some raids. Yeah, I was all up in this game. I was really enjoying it for a long time. So I can't really, knock the take, but I don't agree with it.
It's interesting. I legitimately think that when we talk about perfect video games, we think of things like Tetris.
Pokemon Go is not perfect. The battle system is not that good. It's like
but that's not what it's about. That's not
but
what it's about.
It is a factor, though. It is in there. There's also like a weird trading system where you can't like trade all willy nilly. Like you have to like it has to be like there has to be some like parity to it.
But here's the thing: that I want that parity. I think that that's a good system. I don't want to be able to trade a Pidgey for something crazy, sick ass and fun.
You can do that in the regular Pokemon games.
I think that that's dumb. I think you got to work for it. This whole game is about working for it, and you get to work for it. I love it.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with this at all, but it's your take for sure. All right, let's get into what we've been playing, the main topic of this episode. Do you want to kick it off?
I want to kick it off the 1-2 punch of I just need to say it. I love Tekken 8 so fucking much, and I said it during our morning meeting. Like, it would take a godsend for this not to be my number 2 game this year. Like, it would take Astrobot being near perfect. I've always enjoyed fighting games. I've always had a great interest in fighting games. And Tekken was something that it spoke to me pretty immediately. The first time I ever played a retro Tekken, but I was always overwhelmed and I always felt uncomfortable, and it wasn't accessible enough or cool enough that I could really enjoy. And now here I am, like 35 hours of playing this game, learning the characters, trying to understand how to be better and become the best. It's there. The magic of what a fighting game can be is there. The moments that I was having over the past week where I would play Concord for like 2-3 hours, and then I would be like, I just want to get a game of Tekken and like just real quick, just like 1 or 2. The moments that you get in fighting games where it is you're down, you're out, or maybe you're down 2 games in the set to 3, and you just have to fucking block. They go and use their super, you block it, you grab, hold them back, flip them, stomp over them, use your own special hits, and then you defeat your opponent, and then you get that momentum back to win a match 3-2. It feels like the best moments in Valorant, which is a competitive shooter. It feels like the best moments in Call of Duty, and it's having that consistent fever. I love it. It's something, it's unlocked my brain in a way that I can't believe that I haven't delved more time into this, because like I'm almost kicking myself for being like, okay, I played X Defiant for 15 hours this year. I could have been spending all that time playing Tekken. Like there's so many games like that this year. Foam Stars, I played 10 hours of Foam Stars. Like I could have done 4 hours of Foam Stars and been A-okay and
Right.
played more Tekken. All I want to do is play Tekken. Right now, I want this podcast to end, and I want to get through all my editing and uploading to play more Tekken. I love it. I like. It's not in my top 10 favorite games ever, but it's creeping up there really fast. Where I just like it unlocks something in me. And I coming off of playing MK1 last year for review, where like I really enjoyed MK1. I think MK1's a great game. Love the story. Played a lot of MK1, but it just was like, this is a great fighting game. Tekken 8 for me is like, oh, like I am in love. Like I haven't had this feeling since I want to say Valorant, like 2021 Valorant, where like I started to like play by myself a little bit more and like try to really hit those shots and become great. Yeah, this is just one of my favorite things ever. I would love to like mess it up and tangle it up with some people at like a tournament one day. Like it's that level of I can't.
Yeah.
I can't believe that it was there, dude. And it's just been downloaded on my PS5. It's the one game this year that I was like, I'm not gonna delete it just in case I want to like hop back in. It's been almost my like sneaky link game that I've been hitting up late night and getting 1 or 2 games in. But this week that I've had where it's just playing 4 or 5 matches before bed every night, it's been my favorite gaming that I've had except for Rebirth this year.
Yeah, the FGC is something that I've always wanted to be a part of and get into and like really understand, but it takes work, it takes effort, and it's similar to Valorant, like you're saying, like or any like tactical competitive shooter. Like you're not just going to instantly be good at it. You have to like learn and really put in the effort to enjoy it, and that's just not something that a lot of people are willing to do when it comes to fighting games. And it's something that I'm willing to do, but I just need to find the time and the right game to do it. It's just really daunting, like to get in there and try to mix it up, to learn combos, to figure out like the motions of like how you're supposed to move the stick to pull something off or whatever. Like it's interesting and weird, and I think it's really cool, especially those like the like Evo moments, to like see some of those. I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
It's not even seeing it, it's being part of it. It's doing it. It's, oh my gosh, it's amazing.
It's like Evo has like some of the best moments in sports history, just in general. Like I know that people are like, oh, esports aren't sports, whatever, but like it captures the same emotion. It captures the same heart that football or baseball does. Like you just need to understand that. Like, and as somebody who only in the last few years got into esports, the FGC is something that like I just look at and just admire so much. So Tekken 8, really interesting, really fun just playing it for the short amount of time that I played it, but something that I don't think I'll ever get into fully. If I'm going to get into a fighting game, it's going to be Street Fighter or Guilty Gear.
Yeah, for me,
Guilty Gear is so cool.
Guilty Gear is cool. Doing like, I finished Tekken 8, the story, and I platinumed it, and I was like, yeah, this is like an amazing game. Like this is a 9 out of 10 package for me. I might be closer to that 9.5 area now, like as a little redux to the review where I'm like, this game's just fucking amazing. And it has it all. The stages, the characters, the movesets, combo lists that are, like, if you put them in a book, it outweighs the Bible. Like, it's just forever. It's just so much content, and it's awesome. I've moved my main character. I was a Victor main for a while. I'm now a Lee main. I love Lee. It just very fast, but like in swift punches. I kept on being annoyed that bigger characters like King would just power bomb me and like get to really sway the momentum, and getting my hits in would feel like a little bit faster than those heavy characters in turning the tides against them. By the way, Lee could be the worst character in this game. He could be the best character. I didn't look anything up. I just like, he looks cool, and I know that he's swift, and I'm so upset with that I'm getting outkicked basically, or just like overpowered, and the quickness of it has been special. It's been awesome. So and I'm still trying to learn some other characters and trying to get the basics down, but we did the fighting game list that we shot last week, and I immediately was just like, I kind of want to play Tekken, and then it's just spurred me on to going down a deep rabbit hole of listening to a bunch of Max 2 Million, who is probably outside of anyone and Kind of Funny, my favorite individual creator. I absolutely adore what he does for the multiple communities that he's basically the head of at this point. And I went down that rabbit hole, and I've been playing a bunch of Tekken. It's been magical.
Yeah. Do you want to do Cuphead?
Yeah, I can just get them both out of the way. And then Cuphead. So I beat Cuphead after a very long-winded experience. Normally when we stream something, we always plan to play the entire game on stream. And so when inevitably I was like, okay, scheduling wise, we need to get you over here to start playing Kingdom Hearts 2. This just needs to go on the back end. I always had that desire to get back to it and try to beat the game, and I knew I had to do it on stream because I was like, I just want that energy and excitement of doing that on stream. And man, oh man, did this game absolutely kick my ass. It was something else. Like I had the stretch of the summer, in my opinion, doing Shroud of the Earth Tree, Bloodborne, Cuphead. All three of those games are ridiculously hard. Shroud of the Earth Tree is multiple levels harder than anything I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
But
Cuphead's right there.
Cuphead was kicking my ass. The joke of like King Dice being the Dice Man and everything.
He's tough.
He's tough. And
so annoying to
you
fight.
want to know it's not great. So for those who don't know, I beat it after the Kingdom Hearts stream we did a couple Thursdays ago.
Finished at like 11.
So if we finished Kingdom Hearts at 11.
Yeah.
So I finished Cuphead at like 2:30 in the morning, 3 a.m.
You pieced up the devil pretty fast.
Oh yeah, Devil was like 35 minutes. Like baby fight, like easy, not
you just
a
have to
battle.
get really good pulls on like your dice rolls for King Dice.
So that's the thing. I knew how to time the dice correctly.
Yeah.
And then I still fucked it up often. And so, because I swear, like you get to 1 a.m. and that's the thing that's
why I don't
messing
play
with you.
games after certain hours. At this point. Like I used to stay up really late, but like once I start getting tired, I'm like, I might as well just go to bed, especially if it's like a Friday night. Like I'm gonna go to bed and then I'll wake up refreshed, ready to go and enjoy this in the morning. I can't enjoy something, or like at the very least, I'm not gonna be very good at it until the morning.
But the Dice Man, A+.
Wild.
A+ on one of the most difficult bosses ever in gaming.
The entire game.
I think so.
That's so weird.
So yeah, I got an A+ on King Dice. The way I did it was I had a couple of extra lives that I gained throughout the levels. And then there's some levels in that run up to him that I'm like, oh, this is really easy. Like it's not that hard if you just use the right thing.
Did you do the 3 fights, or did you have to do more?
I think for the run that I had, I only had the 3 fights.
Okay.
And here's the other aspect of it. The parrying on the cards for that fight, I sucked at. I could not get it down.
Oh, the parries feel so good in that game, though.
They feel so crisp. It definitely was how late it was. Because the mausoleum fights, right, where it's just the ghost coming after you and you're trying to go and get the level up, I was money at those. I never had a difficult moment with those parries, but for some reason, it's late, I'm tired, and this man is just rolling out cards at me, and I'm just trying my best to parry him. So we went in the lab, we switched a couple things up. The biggest thing and the dumbest thing that I wasn't using was, even though I had it equipped in my arsenal, was the shotgun maneuver, where it's like 3 big red pellets shooting out of you. I should have been using that against him the entire time, where I was just using the one piece shooter for a bit of it. And then the last time I faced him, I had only 4 card runs at me, basically, and I got the job done. I got so hyped, and then I was like, it was really funny. I was like, at 2 a.m., I'm going to bed no matter what. And then it's 2:30, and I'm facing the Dice Man. And I'm like, okay, well,
job's not finished.
The job's not finished. And I beat that and then got to the devil. Cuphead, amazing game. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's been great. Like when Connor was discussing this as what we've been playing, sometimes the games aren't so good. I mean, right now I'm just still in the God run, so it's been great. And 9 out of 10, amazing game. Great indie title. It made me want to play something nice and light, and we will discuss the game or multiple games that are light and easy and fun and cheery after beating Cuphead. Connor, what's your first game?
Yeah, I'm gonna start with Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I finished Pikmin for Return to Retro, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I try to change it up on what console I'm playing on. So far I've done PS2 twice. Then I started an SNES game, dropped it. I did do an NES game, but I haven't reviewed it yet. I did Mega Man 2. What else have I done? GameCube. I tried Beautiful Joe, played Pikmin instead because Beautiful Joe was kicking my teeth in. Really fun game, but way too hard for me.
Will you ever get back to it?
Maybe, but like I just know that the final like boss rush is like impossible for me.
We do probably have a good little gap between Astrobot and Zelda. Like there's
little gap.
I mean that's 3 weeks, like 20
I guess it
days.
really depends on when we get them, if we get them.
Yeah,
and how
but
that
I'm
works.
saying if we get Astro the day it comes out,
Right.
and it's still you're gonna beat everyone on the team will beat Astro in like 2 days, so it's not gonna
Yeah.
matter.
So finished up Pikmin. Was thinking PS1, maybe Wii. And I went with the PS1. Castlevania Symphony Night, a game I got for my birthday 2 years ago. Laura bought it for me very kindly. A legendary game. I've never played a Castlevania before, but I've heard that this is one of the best places to start. I started it. I'm not a huge Metroidvania guy. I don't really like not knowing where to go. The first thing you notice when booting up Castlevania Symphony Night is how ridiculously good it still looks. Like for the PS1, when they were really focused on 3D polygonal character models, it's like, okay, we're not going to do that. We're just going to make the most gorgeous pixel art you've ever seen in your entire freaking life. Alucard flows, dude. He looks so amazing. All the enemy designs, all these freakos are so unique, so weird. You never know what you're going to see next, but they all look gorgeous, gorgeously disgusting. Disgusting. The castle layouts, the way that each area flows, the way that it looks amazing. From a presentational standpoint, it doesn't get more timeless than this. Like when I was talking about Killzone 2 a few weeks ago, and I'm like, this is the ugliest game I've ever played, and that game came out, what would it be, 20 years later? No, 10 years later at that point, because it was 2006.
Yeah.
And this was 1997. It's like, how does this look this good now? And this looks like this with Killzone and Killzone and Castlevania. It's like Killzone looks muddy and gross and brown, and this looks colorful and like striking, and you can tell what everything is. It may be pixel art, but like all you need is a little bit of imagination to like understand what you're looking at, and you're like, oh, okay, this is gorgeous. This looks amazing. The save rooms are like the most dripped out, cool looking things I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like this like beating like orb like in the middle of the room. And then like you save, and then like it like wraps Alucard around in like a coffin, and it says data saved, and it's like, oh, it's so cool. But you're going around the castle, you're fighting these freakos, you're fighting some really challenging bosses, you're saving. You're when you die, you go back to your like last save point, which is like in classic PS1 like older game era fashion. So it's difficult. It's very hard in a lot of ways. But the other aspect when it comes to presentation that is just next level is the music. Throughout this game, you're like, oh, this music's really good. This music's really like hitting the vibe. And then each area of the castle has like a different tune to it. And I would come across a song, I'm like, this is the best song in the game. This is really good shit. Like how they were cooking with this. And then I would go to like the next area, and I was like, they did it again. They did it again. Like this is some of the best video game music I've ever heard in my entire freaking life. And that's just the presentational stuff. The pixel art and the music, fantastic. The castle is iconic. So good. But then when it comes to the combat, the basics of like hitting stuff with your sword, nothing crazy. Nothing that out there. But there's different pick upable items that you can get that are like your power up, your like up square, I think, if I'm remembering the buttons off the top of my head well enough, that like do different things. You have your holy water, you have your axe. I have this thing that you get later in the game. It's like a bunch of like it's a big pillar of light, and like crosses are like swirling around you or whatever, and it absolutely torches the enemies around me. But it takes a lot of your hearts, which are like the currency that is used that like lets you utilize these items or whatever. It's not health, but it's like individual hearts that you can pick up. And then but the armor I have on, when I get hit, it replenishes my hearts. So I'll like take damage, and like my hearts will like go way up, and then I'll just nuke everybody. But like it's still difficult. Like it's really fun, really flashy. Like experimenting and figuring out like what you're gonna use in certain situations for the item is really, really interesting. I was using like a dagger for like a lot of the first parts of the game, and just like really just like hammering certain enemies from afar and just keeping away. And I could kind of like cheese certain bosses. That might be one of my biggest downsides is with these items. You can generally speaking cheese your way through some of the harder parts, but I'm just enjoying like the whole experience anyways. Like I just like seeing what's next. I like the story that's going on. And then I'm through halfway of this game. There's one bad ending that I got that I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then I just rebooted my save. If you've played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the bad ending. And then there's the second part of this game, and I won't spoil it for the people who haven't played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's one of the most well-known spoilers. So like,
Yeah.
if you know, you probably know. But I'm not gonna,
I didn't know, and Connor told me, and I was like, damn, that's really cool.
yeah. But if you know, this is like one of the coolest fucking things that video games have ever done. Like, it is so cool. The what happens halfway through this game. Like I said, I won't spoil it, but like, man, I could just gush about this game forever. I love it to death. If I were to redo my top 50 list right now that went up on the TikTok, I think Castlevania Symphony of the Night would be close, if not in the top 10, if not in the top 5. Like, this is like why I love video games. It's like a testament to like a visionary. Igarashi, I think is the director's name. He just is the GOAT. Like, this is so good. And it's one of those games that like you hear about, people say like, and it's amazing. It's so good, classic, timeless. Like, you got to play it. And eventually I'm like, I'll get to it. And like very rarely does it always live up to the hype. For me, like games like Resident Evil 4 did live up to the hype when I finally got around to playing it 2 years ago. And then this has been my other example of like, oh, this is fucking amazing. It lives up to every bit of the hype. I cannot recommend this game enough. Please find the time to play it on anything that you can play it on. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is so good, dude. And the only reason I'm not done with it is because I had to play Black Myth Wukong, but the entire time I'm playing Black Myth Wukong, I love Black Myth Wukong, but I'm like, oh man, I really want to just be playing Castlevania. It's so good.
Two things. One, the director is Toru Hagihar. Sorry if I butchered that name, but Igarashi is the acting assistant director on that project.
Oh, interesting. He's like the face of Castlevania, is Igarashi is.
Yeah,
he's
that
the one
makes
who
sense.
went on to make Bloodstained, which is like the kickstarted Symphony of the Night Castlevania like game or whatever.
Yeah, so I remember hearing something like that.
Is it Keiji Igarashi? Is that his name?
There you go. This is why we bring the laptop up now for
I don't see
for pods. Here's
Koji Igarashi. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, the other thing that I want to say about Castlevania Symphony of the Night is, or two more things, I guess. I had two originally. I'm gonna add one more. The thing I'm adding is, man, oh man, I want to play this now. Like, this is one of those that like Connor sells me on, and I'm like, that's gonna be a stream.
I am following a guide for the whole thing. I don't like being lost in Metroidvanias. I just like to know where I'm supposed to go next. And the guide, halfway through it, I realized I was like, oh, this is like a 200% guide, because there's 100% for like the first half of the game.
Yep.
And then the twist happens, and then there's the second half of the game, so you can get like 200%. I think you can get over 200% or something like that. And I think, for a PS1 game, like, I never go for 100% completion unless there's trophies. Like, that's been my like carrot on the end of the stick for 100% completion for every game. But now, like, for this, I just love it so much that I'm like, if you're gonna make me do 100% completion to follow this guide, and I like this guide, it's a written guide. I'm not like following a video walkthrough, which is usually what I would do. If you're gonna make me go for it, I'm gonna do it because I fucking love this game so much that I'm like, let's just do the whole fucking kit and caboodle. Let's do the whole thing. Dude, it's fun. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean,
some of these boss fights are some of like the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my entire life. Just absolute freakos. It's so good. So good.
Yeah, and then the last thing is, if you haven't watched the Q&A, Connor discussed like getting off of a slump, like having a game that can like just immediately put you back in love with video games, and you're like, right now I'm having that happen with Castlevania, and I find that to be so cool when a game can speak to you on that level. Where
I just can't believe it's living up to the hype that it already had. Like,
it's such a conversation, and I think that that's going to get into my next game that I will now bring up, is games living up to the hype. Like, and Metal Gear is the one that we've gone to a couple times on the channel, being like, fuck, it's going to be so difficult for Metal Gear 1 in 2020 plus to hit, because it's been 20 plus years, and how's the gameplay style going to really fit when you're on the sticks? And then it just does it, and you're amazed. And that's game directions that legitimately is timeless.
So on the sticks, but also like visually. Like, if are you going to go into Kingdom Hearts? Or are you going to go into Wind Waker?
I was going to go into Wind Waker.
Okay. Well, Wind Waker, that's the same thing. Like, with the pixel art of Symphony of the Night and the cartoony style of Wind Waker, it's like, these games are going to look amazing forever. Like, in 50 years, you're going to be able to look at Wind Waker HD and be like, that looks amazing. You're going to be able to look at Castlevania Symphony of the Night and be like, this looks fucking ridiculous. Like, it's so meticulously handcrafted for the pixel art that it's like, Jesus Christ, like, how did people make this? It's so good. So, like, it's just so awesome. Like, when people talk about, like, older generation games, PS1, GameCube, N64, like, there's certainly games that look ugly and everything, but, like, there's just some timeless shit on there. Like, that's what the NES has, like, aged gracefully. The SNES looks amazing. Most of the games on there just look so good. It's because they were focused on this cartoony pixel art style.
We have to put down Super Mario Bros. 3 for Brady and I on stream right now.
You guys suck at that game more than I thought anybody could ever suck at.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. You let me play single player Super Mario Bros. Brady doesn't watch the podcast.
Brady's the anchor.
Man, I'm not saying he's the anchor. I'm just saying
you are saying that.
that I carry a lot of the weight of the team, for sure. I'm not saying I'm good at this game though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm good.
This has inspired me to break out the NES and play
Super Mario
Bros. 3 and to see if I can do it without. I think you also have to leave the console on the entire time.
Yeah,
you cannot turn it off because there's no save.
Yeah.
As far as I understand it.
So I'm just throwing out there that maybe we also throw that on the gauntlet run. You versus me, who can beat Super Mario Bros. World 1. Super Mario Bros. 3 World 1 and 2.
Well, you took forever to get through 2.
Dude, it's tough to go back and forth trading off because you just lose that momentum of what you just previously did and learned. But still, man, I got through a lot of those levels. I got through a lot of those levels. I'll just leave it at that. I love you, Brady. You're my favorite. All right. Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this game, y'all, I just want to keep playing it so badly all the time. Coming off of Kingdom Hearts, which we will discuss in a moment, it's so difficult as a creator to just go back into the normal workflow. Tuesdays and Thursdays went from like event viewing and event scheduling for us, where we're like, oh, these Kingdom Hearts streams are just, it's Connor and I on the couch. It's something that's special.
It was weird to not be here.
Yeah,
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Totally.
I was like I kind of miss it.
Yeah, we did this for a month plus. Like it became part of the routine. And so all of a sudden I'm just back to being solo. And I was so nervous because I definitely struggled through my Twilight Princess playthrough. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I think Twilight Princess is a great game. I think it's very well designed, but I had some major issues with it. The length of the game is, in my opinion, too long. We could have trimmed some of the temple fat. Like, we could have lost one or two of them, and it would have been much better, especially because the later temples are the best ones. So it's like you're exhausted, but you're excited, but you're exhausted. Like, and I want to be enjoying those a little bit more. The intro to Twilight Princess was, in my opinion, just way too long. I'm doing a 6-hour stream to kick this off. I'm 3 hours in, and I'm finally getting into what I deem to be the actual core game play.
It's notoriously long.
Yeah, and so it was a struggle, and I can admit that I didn't do Twilight Princess probably the most justice it deserved by doing 6 streams of 6 hours each, and then my last stream being 9+ hours. There was definitely some exhaustion that came along with it. With that being said, I still really enjoy Twilight Princess. I think that's a very great game. Picking up Wind Waker this Tuesday, having the Wii U in my hands for the first time since I was like 15 years old, I was so bummed. I was so upset that I had to do this. Wind Waker is not in my immediate backlog. I always say my backlog is 10 games at any given time, because at any given time, if you ask me, hey, you're going to have to start playing this game, I'm like, let's go. Because there's a lot of games that I want to play, but not all of them are hitting. And Wind Waker was not that for me. It's not in that top 10. I don't even know if it'd be in my top 50 in my backlog, like what I really want to play right now. And I pick it up on Tuesday, and immediately I'm just like, oh shit, this game has the sauce. Like, this game is so fucking good. The music that you are guaranteed, the art style, the just general direction, the intro lasts an hour and some change to get your main direction on going on this adventure. having some fun Metal Gear Solid sequences to kick off this game too, where you're sneaking around as Toon Link. Are you kidding me? Super fun. Immediately, we're hopping into the gameplay, and that was just so much fun for the first stream. And then the second stream, Thursday stream, Connor was stopping in every now and then. He was playing Black Myth. I don't know if a smile left my face the entire time. The gameplay so good. Going through a temple, so much fun. Puzzle room, puzzle room, puzzle room, puzzle room. Everything flowed very well. There was a moment that I double backed when I shouldn't have, and I wasn't upset about it. I was like, oh no, the game's design, honestly, is way better than my dumb brain. Like, I am loving this. Terrific design. I'm so excited to get through these temples. I heard there's only 6 temples too, where I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Like, that's exactly what I want from this game. If I can go and hop on stream and beat a temple in about 3 hours and then just keep that momentum going through, I'm going to have a blast with this. The way that obviously Zelda goes and piecemeals you the tools that you're going to get in your tool chest throughout the entire duration of the game is still immaculate, and that will just never change with any Zelda game ever. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. This is when people discuss Zelda being one of the greatest franchises ever. This is what they're talking about. This is the sauce they're talking about. Gameplay, terrific. Art, music, design, terrific. You feel the sense of adventure when you're on the sea as Link. Like, that's what it's about. And it nails it. Wind Waker is immediately, when I look at what we streamed this year, it's going to be my probably top 3 or 4 games that we get to stream this year. It's immaculate. Like, I'm close to 9.95 with this one. Like, it is as good as it gets. And if you're wondering, man, I give a lot of 9s and 9.5s. It's just because I'm playing like all the greatest games ever right now. I'm sorry. Like, that's literally I have some backlog stuff that are all great games. I don't want to play something that I don't really fucking think is amazing and important. And Wind Waker, I wanted to also throw out there, was one of those that you guys pushed me to. I didn't really want to get back into Zelda this year after Twilight Princess and coming off of Tears of the Kingdom the year prior. I'm super excited to do Wind Waker. I will beat Tears this year also is the plan. I'm about it. The Zelda's got the sauce. And if you guys keep on showing up for these streams, we will do, I think, the big one eventually on stream.
Ocarina?
I'm just going to say the big one. Because we had a whole discussion about it. I was like, the big one on stream. And then they're just like, that could be like 14 different games, Nick. And I'm like, okay.
It's Ocarina. What else would it be? Link to the Past? Yeah, I guess that's fair. Okay, right on. Sweet.
Majora's Mask.
You go Ocarina over Majora's. At least if you're going to like play one of them first. You do Ocarina and then Majora's Mask.
Yeah, but what if I did Ocarina off stream and Majora's on stream, Connor? We got to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
We got to keep them looking around.
Next up for me, I'm playing The Last of Us Part 1, the remake/remaster on stream on the hardest difficulty, grounded mode. This is my first time playing it on the hardest difficulty. A game that I've played dozens and dozens of times, experienced the story so many times, and now seen it in live action with the HBO show. It's like, I don't really want to harp on the story. Everybody knows that the story in The Last of Us is excellent. The gameplay, though, is very contentious for a lot of people. And I've kind of harped on this before, but I'll double back on it now. So I'm sorry if this is repetitive for some people. I think the gameplay on harder difficulties in The Last of Us is magical. It is so good. It's a puzzle waiting to be solved. You have limited ammo. You have a few hits in your wooden plank. You have 1 brick and you have 10 guys in front of you, and you got to figure it out in the fast, frenetic panic that ensues when shit starts to go awry, when stuff doesn't go according to plan. You shot one guy, you didn't realize there was somebody over like close next to you that is now flanking you, and like you swing your gun up and headshot them, and you're like, oh, okay, yes, okay, and then you like go and run and hide and get into a better position. It's just so good. And playing it on grounded, you can't see through walls. You also don't have any HUD. So you have to keep track of how much ammo you have at any given moment. I've had my gun up, or I've like ran up behind people and grabbed them thinking I'm going to be able to like hold them up and shoot somebody else. And I shoot and it clicks. And I'm like, I'm like, oh no. And then they're like, he's out of ammo. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I just kill one guy and then run. But it's resulted in me dying like a few times. But it's just so goddamn fun. I'm having a blast playing through this on Grounded. I'm cooking. I don't think it's too crazy difficult. Like if you know your way around this game, you can get through certain sections by basically like just kind of going around everybody
Stealth.
and just like
And moving
not
on.
even just stealth. It's like stealth you would be expected to like kind of take a few guys out with you or whatever. It's like I'm fighting like one guy, like the library section in Pittsburgh. Like I literally just got upstairs and then just bolted to the door, and everybody's like, "Hey, there he is!" And I'm just like, just like run, and then I drop down and I'm safe. I'm like, okay, well I just skipped all of that.
Yeah.
So it can be easy and you can cheese certain sections, but like for the most part, you have to fight, and when you do, it is just so good. And I think it controls really well. Like I think it feels great on the sticks to line up a headshot. That's just a testament to like how fun factions mode is, that like I just like playing this game. You know what I mean? Like I just want more of it, and that's why I was so obsessed with the multiplayer mode in The Last of Us. So yeah, now playing part 1 on the hardest difficulty, I'm just glad to be in this gameplay loop again, having a great time. Super fun.
Yeah. I'm jealous. It's one of those that I always say at the start of this year, this upcoming year, I'm going to let you and Brady on Co-op 64 Day choose a game that no matter what, I'll schedule it. I'll figure it out. You guys get to stream those games. And The Last of Us is like one of those just like, oh, damn, you're so lucky.
This was an actual
this was
life
actual life. Oh, yeah. I know. But like this is just one of those, I will do anything to play more Last of Us and hopping back into that world and watching you stream. It's been awesome. The support's been amazing on those streams. A ton of fun. You're clicking heads, dude. You're having a great time,
dude. When the red like indicator comes up on like in the reticle, like that you hit a headshot, like it's always satisfying. And like I'll be like swinging my gun up or whatever, and like having the guy like run across and like just run straight into it and clicking that headshot. Oh, it feels so good. Or like there's somebody really far off in the distance and I'm pulling the bow back and like kind of like planning the arch, and like when the fucking thing like the red indicator hits that like I hit a headshot, I'm like, yes, it's so good. It's so fun.
I haven't thought about this. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Are you playing this on PC?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I was just making sure. I was like, are you like lining up these shots, keyboard and mouse? I don't even know if Last of Us Part 1 is on PC.
It is.
Yeah, I thought so.
Busted at first.
Oh,
there
yeah.
were certain situations where like everybody would just be wet all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
Like just sweating like profusely.
Did you see Greg Miller's video about this when it first came out?
No.
He's like, okay, if you need a fix for Last of Us 1, it's really simple. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your PC, you're going to go and turn it off, and then you're going to go and sit on the couch and turn on your PlayStation 5. And then it just fucking works. But I'm jealous. It's a terrific game. Been amazing to watch those streams. And I can admit when I'm not interested in the game you're streaming and I just don't watch your streams. Like Half-Life 2, I was not watching and dialed in on the Half-Life 2 streams.
People way overhype the interest in Half-Life.
Oh,
I really do believe that people talk about it like are very loudly. A few people talk about it very loudly, but for the most part, like there's not that much interest in this game.
And so I dipped out on those, but there's been other games that I've hopped in on. Whole night, I like would always watch like at least about an hour of every one of the streams you're doing for a whole night. I've watched 2, sometimes the entirety of the streams. Like they've been so much fun. Next up, I'm KH2. Let's keep it on the stream wave. And the best part of this is both of us. Like I was the one on the sticks here, but this was my first playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 2, a game that I am so familiar with. Like it's so interesting because I know it. I've seen it. But it's my 6-year-old brain seeing it and trying to go and have those neurons fire in a way that's like, oh yeah, that's actually I kind of remember this. And then there's those moments where I'm like, I have seen this before, but I have no idea what's about to happen next. Finally getting to be on the sticks playing it with you was easily the best streams I think that we've had this year. I think it's ahead of any group stream we've done, even though obviously Brady brings a whole amazing energy. Another dynamic, and there's been group streams that are unbelievable. I think Shadow of the Colossus is a prime one where watching me fail at Shadow of the Colossus consistently was hysterical.
I'm Jump Guy.
Mario 3D World, Milkshake Mondays becoming a whole thing. Like there's been so many great streams, and I am not lessening any of those. I'm just saying that these Kingdom Hearts streams were the most must watch viewing we've ever probably done on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, non weekend stream, non group stream. This was just like, all right, this is, I first want to say, huge commitment. When we broke out the stream schedule, it was always, Connor, you're streaming 2 days a week, you're on group stream, and then you have your own individual day. And that's like, you're here all Sunday, or like for a large portion on Sunday. You do a lot outside of it. You run a lot of emails. You do our scheduling for TikTok. Do a lot of work. So for all of a sudden it to be like, okay, for 6 weeks, I'm streaming 3 days a week because we took you off group stream, but still 3 days a week along with everything else you're doing, along with being on reviews, was a ton of work. So I commend you on doing all that work. But man, oh man, was it worth it? Because these streams were electric, and also this game is so fucking good. Kingdom Hearts for me is about two things. It's about the music and the moments. The music amplifies the moments, and the moments allow the music to go and shine through. Summer ending, Axel and Roxas's dynamic, Sora coming out of the cocoon, basically, fucking Mickey Mouse in Twilight Town being the most badass motherfucker. Just the intro, just him in the hood. Which, by the way, I still don't know how it fully works with the ears and like how they would like slide on. Do those like scrunchies like expand and then go? It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't need to.
It doesn't need to. It's magical. This game is purely magical. I watched Connor play all of Kingdom Hearts 1. People are like, oh, so you've beaten KH1. I've never been on the sticks beating KH1. I eventually will do it. We have plans for me to do it potentially next year at some time on or off camera. It will happen. But to be playing KH2 and have the moments, there is nothing that put a smile on my face more than seeing Leon, Cloud together in Hollow Bastion, just shooting the shit, just shooting the breeze. They're having one of the most fun team up dynamics I've ever seen on a screen in any piece of media ever. And the smile that was on my face was it was just magical. It's not about having the characters on the screen. It's about what they're saying. And they just were being cool as fuck. We're going to do the cool guy draft, or the cool game character draft later in this episode. And I'm really excited for it. Like, Cloud wearing the Advent Children cloak and like shoulder and just the sword having the tape around it or cloth around. Oh my God, it's just so fucking cool. And the moment in Thousand Heartless and honestly,
The
Pete,
boss rush at the end.
the boss rush at the end, Pete and Maleficent's dynamic coming back and being as part of this world is just,
Right.
it's special. It's so fucking special.
Dance, water, dance.
Dance, water, dance.
Oh my God.
I mean, the boss rush at the end is just really sick as fuck.
The final section with the final
Yeah.
boss or whatever, all with that one individual.
Yep.
So good.
So
good.
All I'm gonna say at the end of this is we fucking had Ricky, the mouse, and the motherfucking duck.
Ricky,
and if
Mickey, and Ducky.
and if you respect the duck will respect you back,
Nick
baby.
got the best RNG with Donald Duck healing him that I've ever seen in the history of Kingdom Hearts. Nick would be blinking and the noise would be going off that he's about to die, and Donald would come through for him every single time. It was crazy, dude. Like this is a whole thing in the Kingdom Hearts community that like he never heals you, and Nick was getting them left and right
because I respected him, dude. He was my guy, and I made it very clear. If you look back, in one of the first streams we did was me being like, I'm keeping Donald in my party. Donald's my guy, and I respected him, and he respected me back with those heals. There is no more exemplary moment in our content of what our content can be, in my opinion, than Connor and I laughing about Mickey Mouse during a boss fight. I've never laughed so hard in my entire life. I am legitimately blessed and thankful that moment was caught on camera. Just
Yeah.
like
So
it's
funny.
so fucking funny.
I was crying. It hurt my stomach.
It
was so
hurt.
funny. If you want to see it, it's highlighted
Yep.
on Twitch.
It's highlighted on Twitch as Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
And it's spectacular.
Here's a question I'll ask you. Do you think Kingdom Hearts should have ended at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2?
I think it would have made sense too.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2's ending, I like I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. It's fucking magical. And once again, it's about the smile that it puts on your goddamn face. It's fucking awesome. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is just amazing. It's one of the best games I've played. I would give it a 9 out of 10. It's an amazing video game. If I'm speaking honestly, was at a 7.5 at the start of this game. Like, I just was not super into it, and it just kept pushing, and the story kept providing, and I kept on laughing and tearing up, and the music, y'all, is just, it's one of the goats. It's on the Mount Rushmore of video game music. What do you got for me?
So when we were finishing up streaming, we were talking about the ending, and I was talking about Riku's thumb. Look at Riku's thumb in this picture.
Holy
Isn't
shit.
that crazy?
That's
if you're a Kingdom
wild.
Hearts fan, you know when Riku picks up Mickey and he catches him, his thumb is bent fucking backwards and is so cursed. And I mentioned it, and I was like, just watch the ending. And I forgot about it until right now.
It looks like me holding my mugs during that one Q&A. All right.
It's like, that's not a human's thumb.
You got another one for me?
Finishing it out for me, I did my Return to Retro on Pikmin. This was a long journey to play this game. My first ever Pikmin experience. I wanted to play something on the GameCube. I wanted to play something short. This game is relatively short, like 8 hours, but it felt like 20 to me because of the way that I played it. If you don't know, Pikmin is broken up, the original at least, is broken up into a 30-day cycle. You crash land as Captain Olimar on this Pikmin planet. You're real small on this planet. You're at Ant site. You're looking up at everything basically. And you're tasked with utilizing your army of little guys, little Pikmin, to reclaim all of your ship parts, put your ship back together, and make your escape off of this planet. You have 30 days to do it. Each day has a certain set amount of time to go do your tasks, to build bridges, to break down walls, to blow up walls with little bombs, to take on enemies by throwing your Pikmin at them, traverse the area, guide your army around, pick up the items, bring them back to your ship, and get off the planet. I will say that I did roll credits on this game. You have to get 30 items in 30 days. I got 29 items. So I failed, technically. So I did not get the good ending. And it was because I died one day. I died on day 28, and I lost an entire day. And I could have reset the game and just got my day back, and I didn't do it. I was like, I'm ready to be done with this game. I'm okay with not getting the good ending. I'm done. And the thing is with this game is because of the fact that it's set the way that it is, it gets really hard to do more than 2 or 3 days at a time because you're doing the same thing over and over again. Each color Pikmin, you have yellow, red, blue, all have different abilities, different things that they can do. Red Pikmin, as far as I understand, are just basic Pikmin. They can be strong. They're good at fighting enemies. Yellow are a little bit weaker, can be thrown further, can pick up bombs to break down stone walls. And then blue can go through water, which there's a lot of maps with a ton of water in them. And all 3 of these are introduced, like, I think I had them by day 10, maybe day 8. And it's like, okay, this is the whole map. The whole picture is in front of me now. I have all my pieces in place to enjoy finding stuff on this map. And for the most part, you're utilizing them in the same way throughout each level. There's only 5 areas to traverse. And so you're landing, and you're like seeing like the area, where each thing is on the map. You have to guide your army to go pick the thing up. You need a certain number of Pikmin to pick the thing up. So you need like 40 for some of them. So you're just hucking 40 of them at them, and then they're like carrying it back to the ship. But then you have to like worry about their path back. If there's any enemies in the way, like they will fuck them up and make them drop it. So you have to like. There's a lot of planning and a lot of like interesting ways you can handle it. Like the first day I would be in a location, I would be okay. Like I'm gonna go off and like break down as many walls as I can, break down some bridges. Like I'll have you set of people like you 30, you're tearing down this wall, and then like the rest of you're coming with me, and I'm throwing you at this bridge, and they'll build like a bridge across like some water or something. And it's like okay. Then like the second day I'm like really going out and trying to pick up certain items or take on a boss or something. So like there is some diversity there, but once you have the whole picture in front of you, it's really hard to like know that you're going to be doing the same thing over and over again and being like, okay, I'm going to play this for 4 hours. It's like, I'm not doing that. Like I'll play it for 45 minutes, play 2 days, get something out of it, have a good time. I'm having a good time with it, but I'm like, I'm going to go play something else because I feel like I've done the thing for right now. But I kind of like that it's structured that way at the same time. It's very unique. It's very different. Even in Nintendo's like really weird pantheon of titles where they get really creative, like Pikmin is still very strange and very unique. And even though it didn't blow up on its first outing, and I don't think it's ever really blown up. I think Pikmin 4 is probably the highest selling in the series, but because everything is the highest selling in the series on Switch. But they didn't give up on it. They were like, we like this. It's really cool. It's really interesting. And people do like Pikmin quite a bit. As far as I understand it, this is the Assassin's Creed 1. And Pikmin 2 is the Assassin's Creed 2 of the series, where it's like, Pikmin's good, it lays the groundwork, Assassin's Creed 1's fine, lays the groundwork, then Assassin's Creed 2 really takes everything to the next level, Pikmin 2 really takes everything to the next level, and then it just keeps going from there. So I don't own Pikmin 2, I would like to get on the Wii, because apparently that's a better version to do it on. So I would like to get that at some point and play it, but it's not like towards the top of my list by any means. I'm glad I have this under my belt to like have the knowledge of one of Nintendo's few IP that is still going. So exciting stuff. I like Pikmin. I don't love Pikmin, but I can see myself loving it later down the line.
Give it a score out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Good game.
It's good. Yeah. Maybe a 6.5, depending on the day. But like, it doesn't really do anything wrong other than like its core aspects are really solid. It's just the way that it is structured and how long it is that like makes it like not great.
Would you prefer 3 weeks of Pikmin? 21 days? Do you think that would have helped?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Like once I got the end in sight, that's when I was like more comfortable like doing longer play sessions. When I was like at day 20, it took me like weeks to get to the last third, and then I was like, okay, I'm at day 20. I did like 4 days and then 5 days and then like finish it out the next day. So nice. Yeah, like it was a journey. It was fun. Like I'm glad I played it. Really cool to play it on the CRT. Playing Castlevania on the CRT is also just like I have something the CRT and on my desk, and then I have my laptop next to me, and I'm just like scrolling through the guide, just like keeping information up next to me that I might need. The map is next to me, like with all like the different areas, so I can know where to go. But yeah, really enjoying it. Castlevania, didn't enjoy Pikmin as much, but the whole experience of playing on a CR2 is so nice.
Real quick, Castlevania, it says 8.5 hours. Is that, do you believe, for the first ending around 8.5 hours? Do you think that's for both?
I believe you can beat this game in 8.5 hours if you did the whole game but didn't go for 100%. Right? There's 5 different endings to this game.
Oh, okay.
So like, I think there's like a super secret like mega ending, and I think I've probably spent 8-10 hours maybe already. Okay. So I think on
it says 15 hours for 100%.
I think it's probably going to be closer to that. I was not going for 100% playthrough at first though, so I'm definitely not getting 100% playthrough.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't following a guide or anything, and then a part of the way through it's like I don't know where to go, so I'm gonna start following a guide, and that's really like made me enjoy the whole experience way more. Follow guides if you want to have a fun experience.
Oh, dude!
If you're not having
my
fun,
gosh.
If you cannot follow a guide and you're having a great time, don't follow a guide. But if you want to, like, if it's the barrier between you enjoying the game and not enjoying the game, go fucking find the guide and play with it.
It's really funny. I have a friend right now. She's playing Elden Ring, and she just keeps on texting me questions that I'm like, I'm so excited that you're enjoying this game in the way that I loved this. But man, oh man, you should just there's Google, dude, just Google it. And right. I did get to the point. She asked me like a third question where I'm like, Google can answer this one. I enjoyed the conversation. I'm like, she just beat Melania, and she's like, I'm trying to get back on the main path. Where do I go? And I'm like, because I'm gonna Google it. Like I'm gonna figure out. Right. Like I'm doing what you should just do in the first place. But yes, follow guide. It's amazing. Literally, I checked my phone 2 times. One was for an email thing, and then the other one was literally her messaging me, and I was like, can you Google that one, please? I'm on the podcast right now.
It's too important.
No, I'm definitely not too important. Anyways, I got the last one.
Yep.
Last at bat. Man, oh man, these podcasts don't get any shorter. And I love these longer podcasts. Mario Odyssey. I want to preface this. I don't know if this has been said on the channel directly. It's been alluded to many times. I don't own a Switch. I've never owned a Nintendo Switch. I never spent money on a Switch Lite or a Switch. They've just always been fucking around. Okay. So 2017 Switch comes out. My best friends, the Lucids, they get a Switch. That all of a sudden we're playing the Switch games. We're playing Smash. We're playing I'm seeing Mario Odyssey be played, but I don't own a Switch. All of a sudden college rolls around. Everyone I've ever lived with has had a Switch. Now I'm an adult. I live by myself. For content, Connor and Brady just bring the Switch over if we want a party game or something like that off of it. I don't own a Switch. So last year, the big thing was, oh shit, I gotta play Tears of the Kingdom for Game of the Year conversation. Like I had to do that. That was an important thing to check off. Every single year, a goal of mine is to play all 6 Game of the Year nominees in some form or fashion. Get a good understanding of what they are and why it would get nominated for something like that. And so Tears of the Kingdom, we knew would get nominated. I was like, Brady, I'm borrowing your Switch. Played 50 plus hours and then put it down due to just picking some other things up, and some other reviews came in. So now here we are. It is a year after I played Tears of the Kingdom. We're close to it. And I was having a hunger for playing something a little bit easier. I wanted to not get my ass handed to me in the way that I had been all summer long. This summer was SummerSlam for me. It was just me getting the shit kicked out of me by Radon in Urtry, by King Dice, by just everyone out in Yarnum. It was time to relax and smile. And so I told Brady, I was like, I want to play Super Mario Odyssey, picked up the copy from Connor, borrowed Brady's Switch, and we got after it. It took me around a week and a half to play, and what a just delightful video game. I'm not going to harp on the things that you've heard a million times about Super Mario Odyssey. The creativity of this team is off the charts. Cappy and what you're able to do compared to having your traditional Mario abilities, just being like, oh, we're just going to make everything an ability. Like, we're just going to have so many different unique gameplay designs and mechanics, and all of them are going to be extremely special. And every single time you try another throw to see if it will stick on someone or something, and then you get to become that thing, always special, always exciting. This is Nintendo completely in their bag, in my opinion. This is the creativity that we as gamers should strive to push other publishers and developers to do on a consistent basis. This is magic. Like, this is straight up what you can get when you have a team at the top of their line. It's not perfect for me. It's not a 10. I'm between a 9 and a 9.5.
Where have I heard this before? Deja vu. That's
what
fair.
do you want? It's Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's Kingdom Hearts 2. It's Cuphead.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? It's so frustrating.
I get it. It is funny though.
Run through those 3 games. What would you give them out of 10? Those 3 games.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is a 10. Cuphead is a 9. Mario Odyssey is a 9. Yeah.
I think I've literally I'm at Kingdom Hearts is a 9. I'm at Cuphead is a 9.
Let me take it back. Mario Odyssey is an 8.5 in my opinion.
And I think Mario is a 9 for me too. Yeah. Like, I think that they're just 9s across the board.
It's just too easy.
It's too easy, but the power moves at the end, and like my whole thing is the creativity is what it's all about, in my opinion. Like, I want just pure creative fun, and this is the game that, like, once again, it was right time, right place for me. I've wanted to get this out of my backlog forever. I've just been like, really, just it's one of those like, how the fuck have you not played this yet? Well, I haven't owned a Switch, and the company and the business has me play a lot more multiplayer games and other shit. And so
we're just in a constant cycle of, Nick, you should buy a Switch, but the Switch 2 is coming. We've been in this cycle for like 4 years now.
There's a podcast out there from 2021 that I say to Connor, should I buy a Switch? And he goes, no, it's going to come out later this year. That was a conversation in 2021 that we were having. No, I did not
say that it's coming out later this year.
I think so.
Said that it might.
Yeah. It's still.
What would that have been? 5 years? 2021?
2021?
No, 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
But if at the time, it just felt so underpowered that it was just like, and and it still feels that way.
Oh no, this is what it was. It was a Switch Pro.
Oh yeah, we
Switch
thought there was a
was
Pro.
gonna happen,
Yeah,
but it was the OLED that ended up happening instead. Jeff Grubb did us dirty. That was all him. You remember that?
the Grubb.
He was the one.
Yeah,
Like, it's happening. It's happening.
Jeff Grubb had a cycle in 2021, 2022, where the dude's right a lot. The dude will never speak something that does not have truth to it because he hears things and he says he's just a messenger.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, did he get lit up. Literally, we shot the messenger as the internet and Reddit and Twitter all came a flurry when things didn't go exactly the way that he said. But honestly, I'm somebody that loves games this morning, and I love Jeff Grubb, so I'm not dunking on Grubb. But like, there was that hope, and it didn't happen. So I didn't buy a Switch. I'm okay with not buying a Switch. I'm not going to buy a Switch now because once again,
it's coming.
We're a year.
It's happening.
Even last year, it was like, oh, the Switch is gonna be. We thought that the Switch was going to be this March or at the latest this summer during last year.
Right.
The entire time, we're like, oh, this is the end of the Switch, and then it was Pete's Showtime. We're like, okay, so we're getting the Switch in the summer. Like, we're getting the Switch in the summer, and then they're like, we're not. We will announce it before the end of the.
You're confident it's next year, right?
Yeah, they are announcing it before Q1 finishes next year.
Okay.
And yes, it is confirmed by the end of their fiscal year, which is March.
I thought they said they weren't releasing it during that time.
Here's what Nintendo has said. They will announce this thing, not release. There will be an announcement of what this next console is before March 31st next year. That has been publicly said by Nintendo. So
when do you think it gets announced? December?
November.
Okay, I can live with that.
I think October or November. And it's really funny. The rumor mill now has pushed it where they're like, it will not come out in Q1, but it will come out before the summer. So it's like it's April, May, June is the rumor slot right now where it's going to come out.
May feels right.
May feels so right. Little Mario in May? Are you kidding me?
Awesome,
come on. Biggest year in gaming. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Great game. Or an amazing game, pure creativity. I can't wait to see what we get from 3D Mario in the near future. It feels like it gets me really, really excited for Astrobot.
Oh my god, can't wait.
We can say this. We don't have codes or anything like that, so we don't know when that review will happen. But be on the lookout. Join the Discord. Like, we're in that weird review season where things will start to get embargoed and everything, and so we might push the podcast off on Monday to meet an embargo if we have to. The Discord will have those updates. So if you're like, where's the podcast? It's Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. It should be there, and if it's not, either I fucked up majorly or it's planned and the podcast is pushed later in the week or the week prior. Just some heads up there, but yes, it gets me really excited to play Astrobot. I just like platforming for me is it's great. It's so unique, and Mario is so special and does it so well. I'm still a believer in Mario 64 over Odyssey. Honestly, playing Super Mario Bros. 3 again for the first time in ages, I'm like, oh, dude, this is just gas. Like they just
Even though
know
you suck at it?
what they're. Oh yeah, dude, this but Super Mario Bros. 3 is like. Are you kidding me? It's gross how good of a platformer this game is.
Yeah.
And that wasn't on the list, but like playing that with Brady's been a riot. I'm not good at it. I'll admit that I'm not good at it. Brady's worse than me at it. And we can just leave it there because we have a couple more things we need to hop into.
I love Mario Odyssey. I played it at launch and I haven't really picked it up since then, so it's not exactly fresh in the memory, but from my time playing it, I played it and got like 500 moons. Like, really enjoyed my time.
Oh,
with
damn.
It.
Yeah. I didn't know that you got that much.
I went back and did more like after finishing the game.
Yeah,
never beat Dark Side of the Moon or Darker Side.
Ooh.
Have you tried it?
No.
Have you tried it?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, dude, like it's.
I rolled credits and then immediately was like, I'm gonna play Ghost of Tsushima in like 5 days before we get hit with just reviews left and right.
Yeah, it's insanely difficult. Like that's like the one crazy part of the game. But then also there's like a bunch of like new levels unlocked. You saw like the metal squares that were all around the world you didn't do anything with. Those are unlocked after the fact. So it's fun. It's great. It's a great time. But like it's just something that is not very fresh in my memory, so I don't have a lot to say about it. It just has a lot of heart. I really do appreciate that.
Before we move on, I have a question for you. This was not prepared. But me talking about playing Ghost sort of it sparks this. What's next for you that's not a 2024 release? Like, because right now, this the 24 release grind that is just happening.
At all.
So it's Symphony of the Night and then shrug the shoulders. You'll just
I
wait
will
and
decide
see.
from there. Yeah,
Cool.
that's what I always do. I don't really make a hard, fast decision. I
Yeah.
go to the shelf and I look through all my games. Usually, I like I said when I was talking about playing Symphony of the Night and choosing PS1, I try to do a console that I haven't done recently. We'll have to play Sonic.
Yeah, that's gonna be
stream,
awesome on stream.
and that's
it's gonna
on
be so much fun.
Dreamcast. So there's that, and
Yeah.
then I don't know what else. I haven't played an SNES. I haven't reviewed an SNES game. I haven't reviewed like a DS game at all.
Can I throw something your way?
What we got?
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Maybe.
I think that it's time. I think that it's time that you like, and you get to play it on the OG console.
What I have been saying though is I really want to play a JRPG really badly. I haven't played
Could
a
you
JRPG
could you do it?
so long.
Are we talking Legend Dragoon?
Yeah, maybe.
That could be sick, dude. That could be a lot of fun. I do.
But it's long. Like that's the thing is like it's 45 hours or like Vagrant Story. Or
that's what I'm saying though. We're gonna have that 20-day pocket between Astrobot's release date and Zelda's release date.
Right.
And for you, you're back only on the Monday, Wednesday grind. And honestly, Monday streams for a couple of these are at our own places. So maybe you really just tuck into a deep JRPG.
I will say that I just said that I don't want to play a PS1 game and then just listed a bunch of PS1 games. But like, if you're gonna play a JRPG, you're probably gonna play it on
the PS1.
The PS1 because it has the best JRPGs on there.
Let me break it down for you. What Old Two Shoes plan is right now. I do want to throw out the fact that I'm gonna review Concord today. We're gonna play it on group stream on Monday. I am excited to still, if I ever get the text from Andy or Mike or see that they're streaming, I am so okay with hopping back into Concord and playing more Concord and enjoying that. But that's going to take a backseat to, I do want to Platinum Astros Playroom probably tonight. I think that literally, normally I edit the videos. I'm only editing a certain amount. We shot 2 weeks of content. I'm going to edit only 1 week tonight and then have to share videos throughout the night. I think I'm going to do that while videos are sharing from like 9 until midnight. Secondly, I do want to do Tears of the Kingdom. I want to beat Tears of the Kingdom, get it completely scratched out of the way.
Is what you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm really deep in Tears of the Kingdom. It's like the only reason I put it down was Alan Wake 2. Like, and I for that stream Alan Wake 2, and then it was travel, and it was we're going home for Christmas and getting ready for Co-op 64 Day. And then Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown and Tekken, like that. Like it literally just all of a sudden I got swept up into it.
I will say. New development in the Discord, another reason to join the Discord, and this might sway what I play next as well. Game Club seems to be getting up and running. Shout out to Mikey, one of our dedicated Discord members, community members. He seems to be running this shindig where every month there will be a game chosen. People will be playing the game throughout the month, have something to all like chat about. There's been a pseudo game club going on with Final Fantasy X in the Discord right now. Like 5 people are playing it all at once, and they're just kind of going back and forth, being like, "I just beat this part. I'm at this part. What do you guys think of this? Who do you guys think of? What do you guys think about that?" So like, if a game comes up that I'm interested in playing, that I would like to get to, I think Resident Evil 1 has been thrown around quite a bit.
Yeah.
I would play that on the GameCube. I'm like, yeah, I could be down to do that. So if you want to join a community and join a game club of kind of like a book club where you play a game, discuss the game, there you go. Join up in the Discord to do that.
So the last couple things though I want to throw out there on things that I want to happen, along with me beating Black Myth Wukong, beating Star Wars Outlaws, playing Astrobot, and trying to put myself in a position to potentially be on the Zelda Echoes of Wisdom review. I do want to beat Ghost. That's like literally my PlayStation 5 right now, and I'm excited, and I want to get back into it after playing only 3 hours. Life is Strange 1. I want to see why you dislike it, and I want to see why a lot of people love it. Double Exposure is coming out.
A lot of people don't like it too.
Oh yeah, I know.
This is I know it's well beloved, but like there's a lot of people on my side of the fence here.
Yeah.
And I will continue to reiterate, I don't like talking about Life is Strange because I know people like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like put anybody down for liking it. If you love Life is Strange, that is excellent. I'm glad that you like it.
But it's one of those that I'm just like looking Double Exposure later this year. I mean, just looking at like what October is going to be for the team. Like Silent Hill 2, BO6, those are shooty games. Dragon Ball Z, we were going to have a fighter in there. Metaphor, I want to play, but like I even said it in my anticipated video that let's be real. Like let's be real.
Maybe I hold off on playing a JRPG because Metaphor's coming out soon anyways. And I still have to play Persona 3.
Yeah, honestly, maybe you pick up the 6 on Persona 3 for a bit. But I could see myself hopping in on Life is Strange Double Exposure after a stint of BO6 and everything. I do think though most likely BO6 is going to come out, and I'm booked up for 2 or 3 weeks.
Because of BO6.
Yeah,
interesting.
BO6 is my third most anticipated game this year.
My like. I'll play a game of zombies right now. Oh yeah, I'll do some multiplayer with the boys. Like that's with the community. Like anybody wants to play. Like I think I'll be hopping in and out of BO6, but I don't think it's gonna take over my life.
For me, it's gonna take over my life. I'm gonna boot up on the Series X. I mean, I played 50 hours of Cold War. Like
so you like bad games, basically.
Yeah. What you deem to be a bad Call of Duty, and it differs. But Treyarch's last outing being Cold War, like they haven't made, in my opinion, a bad Black Ops game ever. So I'm about it. I'm in on it. I'm ready for it. It's gonna be a bunch of fun. That's what we've been playing. Let's do it, Connor. Let's hop into some Team Green.
Big news out of Gamescom, a lot of announcements, but one of the biggest ones from it, aside from Borderlands 4 and Mafia: The Old Country, I think is what that one is called. Exciting, cool 2K stuff going on there. Excited for both of those.
2K, real quick. Civ, Borderlands, like they just had an outing.
Here's what I will say. I'm not sure if 2K owns Hangar 13 anymore. I feel like I remember a story where Hangar 13, the developers of the Mafia series, broke away and got the Mafia series. But I'm not sure if that's the case. But one of the biggest pieces of news from this, Indiana Jones coming out December 9th, December 9th. And then allegedly later in April is what it sounds like. That's the alleged part, but spring for sure.
It seems like it is still owned by 2K.
Okay. I might just be wrong then.
That's a quick Google search. Let us know in the comments.
That Indiana Jones and the Red Circle is coming to PS5 in spring. Changes the dynamic of the landscape of the console wars that people seem to get wrapped all up in. This is a watershed moment for video games. This is like insanity, in my opinion, but not shocking at the same time. We knew the dominoes were falling, and we knew that we didn't know what was going to be the 5th game. We knew something was probably going to happen because of the success of Xbox games on PlayStation. Do you know how many copies
Sea of Thieves? Yeah, it's a million.
A million for a game that came out in 2018. Like that, they must be looking at that and just licking their lips and being like, "Oh, we got to put everything over here. This is where people are buying games."
I promise you, a couple things. This is, in my opinion, not a Phil, Sarah, Matt decision at this point. This is Microsoft being like, we're a fucking company.
And you made the biggest purchase in Microsoft history, not Xbox history.
Microsoft history by putting these with Activision Blizzard King. Like,
you have to start making
money. And so this makes, in my opinion, complete sense.
But it's digging their own grave.
I want to go and throw this out there though. There's been a lot of discussion, frustration, cheers from some. This is just a really difficult day if you've been an Xbox fan, your player base, your core player base that is stuck with you through the Xbox One generation, still made the purchase decision to buy a Series X. It sucks. It really, really sucks. Is this great for every other gamer? Absolutely. More games going to more places. Fuck yeah.
It's great for now.
I know.
And that's the really difficult thing for people to realize. It's like, why is everything not exclusive? And I talked about this last week during my hot take. It's like, I just want to be able to play everything. And yes, in a perfect world, that's the case. But like, man, like healthy, vibrant, powerful Xbox how we got the PS4, like,
Yeah.
which was an awesome console. And then like you would hope that the PS4 would push Xbox to do certain things, push them in a direction that was really positive, and they just didn't adjust fast enough. I think they're now on the path to adjusting, but like it's too late. The die is cast. They need to pivot even further because of their acquisitions, because of the decisions that they've made, that they need to start selling games. And because of Game Pass and the way that people purchase games on Xbox, aka they don't purchase games on Xbox, they need to sell them elsewhere. And people buy games on PlayStation. They saw it with the 4 games. So now they're sitting there with it's one of the biggest IPs in the world or whatever.
It's one of the biggest titles this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Indiana Jones is like waned in popularity, it's still a big IP.
Yeah.
And they definitely had to license it from Disney, which costs a shit ton of money. Just like Sony has to license Spider-Man from Marvel. That's why that game costs so much to make. Indiana Jones probably costs a lot to make. So the question is for me is like, is this a one-off thing that it's such a quick turnaround? Do you think this is the new norm? Do you think it's only because of the licensing fee and like how much money that probably costs? Do they need to recoup some of the money? What do you expect? What do you expect the next game to be after this? We already know Doom's coming.
Yeah. Let me just. It's everything. At this point, I want to preface all these things that yes, Connor and I grew up on Sony consoles. We played a lot of our games on PlayStation. I listened to hundreds of Xbox gaming podcasts from Snowbike Mike and the team over at Kind of Funny for the entire duration of their podcast, The Xcast. And I didn't listen to the sister show of that, the PlayStation show, because I just like the Xbox discussion so much. It's fascinating to me. I love this ecosystem. I use my Series X at least once a week to boot up games on Game Pass. Forza Horizon 5, top 10 game for me and my favorite games ever. Hi-Fi Rush, top 10 games for me and my favorite games ever. This sucks. And I do want to first go and just be like, if you are and have serious emotions towards this, that's fair. Because I feel like a lot of people right now are just being like, oh, like it's great. And it's not. It's not for Xbox fans. It's not. If you spend thousands upon thousands of dollars in this ecosystem because you want that exclusive slate and you believe in these games and these teams, not having that sucks. To answer your question now, everything's on the table. Every Bethesda game is coming to PlayStation either day and date or with some small level of time exclusivity like we're getting here with Indiana Jones. I do find it very fascinating that it's not day one, because I feel like that would make a ton of sense to be day one, where it's like, oh, we just need to make a shit ton of money. You're going to make a shit ton of money if Indiana Jones is on PlayStation 5 day one. That is a great way to just get dollars. So they care a little bit about some timed exclusivity. They want the Indiana Jones fan in the wintertime pre-Christmas to go and pick up a Series S, Series X, or even more likely, just a month of Game Pass. Just get in the ecosystem on Game Pass. Just sign up to play Indiana Jones.
Getting in the ecosystem going to save them? No, it needs to sell copies. How many copies? This is just like I don't think we can really know this. How many copies of Hellblade 2 do you think they sold?
Fucking 12, dude. Like
100,000 maybe.
No, they didn't sell. They don't care about selling, and I think that
that is their demise.
But I don't know if it is fully a demise situation from their business sense. Every decision, it's Microsoft. We're not talking about just Xbox in this situation. Microsoft's business strategy at this point has some level of work to it, that they're like, okay, the dollars and cents will make sense. If we bump Game Pass up here and we put certain exclusives here, the money will roll in a way that we can continue to run a successful business. That's all they give a fuck about. They have, in my opinion, at this point, right now, we are talking after Gamescom 2024, they've lost every ounce of goodwill that they tried to garner over the past decade. All of it's gone. Every single modem of it is gone. Phil Spencer, basically, and I re-listened to the clip, and it's not good. It's pretty damning, in my opinion. He basically lied to the entire Xbox community. He did say things could change, and there was...
Well, no, he said the first 4 games, it's not Starfield, and it's not...
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
That's not a lie.
Yeah, it's not. But
it's still just kind of weird.
It just kind of sucks that you said Indiana Jones.
It makes it seem like they're never coming.
Yeah, it totally seemed exactly like that. And he did say
didn't say that.
And he did say things will change. And things have changed. The success of Sea of Thieves proved to the higher ups at Microsoft that this is a terrific move.
Like,
everything did its job. Like everything sold enough where you're like, oh, worked. Like It wasn't just, oh, we picked up some scratch cash over here. It's like, no, we made a fucking dent in our sales, in our boosted our numbers.
The weird thing to me though is that like I think your idea of year-long exclusivity like is a good idea.
Yeah.
Like that would still move units.
Yep.
5 months? I don't know.
5 months it's damning. In my opinion, it's completely damning.
So
I can't tell anybody that you have a good reason. Even us, we are in the public zeitgeist. We have to play these games. If we were just a step away, like I was a year or so ago, when we weren't we were doing video game content, but we didn't have a fucking need to play everything immediately. If I was there a year and a half ago, all I wanted was a Series X, just because I loved playing my Xbox games in a super epic and exciting way. And guess what? Now, 5 months for Indiana Jones, I would wait, even though I don't want to wait for things like that. The value proposition doesn't make sense for me to not wait. And honestly, most consumers would not make sense. Thankfully, I got the Series X. We got Game Pass. Rock and roll. We're going to be there day one to play this game. But it is damning. It hurts.
I like being a part of the conversation. I do think that is valuable.
It's super valuable.
I want to play the games day one, and that is a factor. But that's me who's obsessed with video games, and this is one of my biggest passions. I love playing the new hotness
and being in the conversation and listening to the podcast and having the conversations with friends. I understand that that's important, and it is for Indiana Jones. That there's part of that. 5 months is not enough. A year was the number, in my opinion. A year. If you are time exclusive for a year, it's cool. You legitimately, for that game, have milked out 99% of what you're going to get from it anyways. And then that 1% that's going to teeter on of people that join your ecosystem are like, oh, I'll give it a shot. Or, oh, I picked up Game Pass. Oh, this game came out a couple years ago. I've played through the new hotness. Now I'll get back to it. So might as well put it on the everywhere else and then get that whole second wave of news, stories, and revenue. Great. But that's not this. 5 months is not enough. It's not. When we had this discussion back in the spring, it was very much timed exclusivity makes complete sense in my mind, especially when you don't sell copies. All you can do is sell Game Pass. You can still sell Game Pass because, in my opinion, Game Pass is perfect for the new hotness. Call of Duty's out right now. Pick up Game Pass. You're only in for $20 compared to spending $70. Perfect. All about that. This doesn't work. This doesn't work for me. Like you said, it's at. The other thing is, it's at most 5 months. Spring starts in March.
The rumor is April.
December to April is not enough. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they believe that it is enough time to get that entire first wave of consumers, and then they hit the second wave. But I just, if I had a PS5, there's no reason. And my thing is, there's no reason to buy an Xbox. And then there's no real reason also to just go and spend the $20 on Game Pass. In fact, 5 months is nothing. I like Indiana Jones quite a bit.
It looked cool from what we saw.
Oh, and we can talk about the behind closed doors a little bit more and have a great conversation about Indiana Jones itself, the game Indiana Jones. This is not going to push, in my opinion, a majority of PS5 buyer or owners into buying Game Pass, where if you told me it's 1 year of exclusivity, if I was a huge Indiana Jones fan, I really loved the movies growing up. I'm in my mid 30s, 40s, 50s, and I want to just hop in real quick. If it was a year of exclusivity, if they didn't even just say it's coming out in spring, if there was that time of, okay, we got a little bit longer and everything, and I want to hop in on this, I'd buy Game Pass and then I'd forget about buying Game Pass, and then they now own $240 from me every single year. They don't have that with 5 months of exclusivity. And so I think that it's a losing strategy. You have to, if you're an Xbox owner, like I am, you need to expect every single one of the games that they announce forever now can come to PlayStation and other titles. Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, Gears of War 5, and then E-Day all could backlog come on these new consoles that's old titles, winning strategy, in my opinion. Get the money, make your money.
How many copies do you think Master Chief Collection sells on PlayStation?
Day one, 10 million copies.
Not day one.
No,
10 million.
no, but it's 10 million copies lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm like, it would sell 10 million fucking
I don't know about
copies.
10, but it would be up there.
It would break the PlayStation Store. That level
It'd be like
of
one of the biggest stories in gaming
that
history.
level of crossover event. All I can think about is Fortnite crossplay day one when they were doing it, and you on PlayStation can play with Xbox people. That level of parity, that level of togetherness of like these things that seemed locked away forever coming together, that broke what consoles could do. This, no joke, if I have a DualSense in my hand and I am playing as Master Chief, that would break everything. And I think that Xbox loves being trailblazers, and they love, in my opinion, often too early, jumping into new ideas that other companies are afraid to do. It would be sick. Once again, the gamers, and in the short term, like you said, win. Xbox wins. They get more money. The gamers get to play where they want to. The thing that they hurt is the people that, and it sucks.
Because the console's done. Like, it's toast. Like, if you are not somebody into games right now and you are deciding whether or not to get an Xbox or a PlayStation, there's no way you're buying an Xbox. There's no really good reason to buy an Xbox, and that sucks. I want there to be a good reason to buy an Xbox because they have a whole suite of games that look fucking awesome. That last showcase was a 10 out of 10 showcase, and it seemed like they could right the ship. And I think that Phil Spencer believed that like that was the plan, but now because of the Activision deal, like the urgency has gone up way higher for them to make a move, and this is the move that they have to make.
I do want to throw out there, and this is just some discussion, and it's not a fact. I think that Indiana Jones looks like a great time. I'm very excited for Indiana Jones. I do not think that Indiana Jones is a console seller.
No,
I don't think that. I don't. I think that this game is another one of those Xbox games where you're just like, this is a great time. And we saw behind closed doors demos. Shout out to Machine Games and Xbox and Team Green for having us. It looked great, but this isn't going to move the needle.
It's not God of War. It's not Spider-Man. It's not The Last of Us. Like,
I think the biggest thing is it's not Spider-Man. We're like, Spider-Man it's not a shaking, earth-shattering, like, holy fuck game, but it's an amazing game. Like, it really is something special.
Yeah, well, when we're talking about sales, though, Spider-Man's like the biggest thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. But this IP, and it wasn't as hot as it once was in the 80s and everything. And it's just, honestly, the latest two films really just tanked what this IP was. And so now we're in a spot where it's like, okay, do they know internally, like they've definitely have people play testing this game right now, do they know internally that this game is going to come out, get an 83 or an 84 on Metacritic, and then they say, okay, I mean, it's not going to win as a console exclusive, might as well go and make the extra money.
It's so crazy that 83, 84 is such a weird conversation right now, because like Xbox games 83, 84, people are like, oh, but like Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade 83, 84, and people are like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Those certain games are graded almost a little bit differently. I think that like people though in the public zeitgeist would have Black Myth as a higher thing. Like if there was an audience score in the way that there is for like Rotten Tomatoes, they would have that higher.
Black Myth right now is
crazy. But yeah, I know I've yapped a lot. There's a lot of emotion. Like this has been one of those things where I'm so thankful we have this podcast to have these more serious discussions and talk about. Obviously, we harp on the good of video games quite often. This sucks in my opinion. It's a tough day. It's a tough pill to swallow. I just really feel bad for the Xbox players that have spent thousands and thousands of dollars in this ecosystem, and now there's not a guarantee of a bright future. I do want to give a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel though, if you're one of those gamers. We're supposed to get a handheld from Xbox.
But what is that? How does that move the needle?
Let me break it down for you. If you can play Game Pass games natively, and because it's Windows, it would run through Windows for sure. If you can have Steam up on that thing, fucking game changer.
But why not just get a Steam Deck? Can you not do?
You can't do Game Pass.
Game Pass?
Not natively. And so that's
It
the
would need
whole
to run
thing.
better, in my opinion, or
Oh,
something.
well, yeah. No, it would need to run better. But my whole thing is if I can have RE2 on the go, RE2 Remake, Ori, Forza Horizon 5, like all run perfectly without a Wi-Fi connection, bang.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think PlayStation's going to do it too, though.
Well, here's the thing. You got to beat them. Every single thing that
I don't think so. I think this is a race that is going to go on for a long time. I don't think you need to be there first.
If you're Xbox, you need to be there first on every single major decisions you do.
Oh, okay, for Xbox.
Yes.
PlayStation can come second.
Yeah, they're fine. Like once again, they're leading the race, and that would just be a notch against PlayStation. But once again, we both think I believe this. We both think that's good for the market, like having competition and have PlayStation have some pushbacks through competition. But yeah, I think that could be a game changer. I'm not holding out for a hero. I do think, though, it could be a game changer and be pretty awesome.
All right, this podcast is going pretty long.
Where are we
Let's
at?
hop into the 148.
Holy
Let's
shit.
pop into the Concord review real fast.
Yeah.
Nick, do some yaps about the Concords.
Yeah. So, couple things. One, copies provided by PlayStation. Shout out to PlayStation for giving me and the team a whole bunch of. Sorry, I got a weird one. A whole bunch of codes. I got a text from someone random about something, and I just had to scan over what the hell it was. And Brady called me, which I'm like, dude, you know that the pod's going late. Come on,
Brady
bro.
called you? Oh.
Brady called me.
Where do I go in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
stuck. This boss is kicking my teeth in.
I did pull up a photo just because there's something that I did want to reference though too. That's another reason why I was on my phone.
Here, you want me to intro it?
I would love for you to intro it.
Do you want me to do the provided by PlayStation bit or no?
I can say it.
Okay. Nick, you have been playing Concord. What is your review? What do you think?
Conrad, I've been playing Concord for about 25 hours total if you include the 2 beta periods that we had prior. I do want to shout out PlayStation. This review code was provided by PlayStation. Thank you so much for sending me the team codes to play Concord. I would give Concord a 7 out of 10 good. This is a very good multiplayer game. First, let's dive into what I enjoy about this game. The core gameplay is legitimately really fun. I am having a lot of fun playing this game. The time to kill, perfect. With every single character that you're playing, you don't feel super overpowered. You're not just mowing down somebody in a moment. You have to have some team togetherness to go and take down someone really fast. But if you're just going solo, flying around, it's going to be a tough time to go and get a kill real fast. You're going to have to rely on some of your utilities and some of your R1, L1 abilities to help you get that time to kill down real fast. And I think that that's done expertly. The other thing that I want to harp on with this game is that core gameplay, really good, but there are layers a little bit deeper in Concord that are amazing, and that comes from the crew bonuses. There are 6 different classes within Concord. There are the Anchors, the Breacher, the Haunt, the Ranger, the Tactician, and the Warden. All 6 of those abilities give you unique talents that go and get added to every character you play for the rest of that multiplayer match. So if I hop in as an anchor, that increases my health of every single player I am for the rest of the match if I hop to a new agent. Because every single time you die in Concord, you get the agent select menu back up, and you're able to go and hop in as the same person as you were if you just want to play as your main. Or you can hop around and go and get more abilities. So for me, I noticed that I want to get on my main with a improved weapon recoil and a faster reload. So I will go to 2 characters that do that first, die twice. Naturally, I'll still try to get kills and help the team, whether I'm playing TDM or kill confirmed or any other game mode. But then I'm on my main and I have those 2 abilities and I'm able to shred playing this game. And that feeling of I'm souped up and ready to rock feels amazing. And it's a very multiplayer moment going and be like, all right, I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready to have fun. Let's send it. It also makes the player try out a lot of different agents, and that's a bunch of fun. The crew members are all extremely unique with their kits, and there's a lot of fun to be had playing every character. I got to level 10 on my main, and then I said, I'm just going to put him away for a while. I'm just going to stop playing as him to really explore other options. And surely enough, I found some other characters that I love. There are weaknesses in this game. So the characters, it's a big part of it. The character designs, quite often, I'm not a huge fan of. I do think that they did certain characters dirty by not putting them in later outfits that you unlock immediately. Either they went a little too flashy or a little too dull, where I'm like, you could have just made everyone look sort of similar and then really get crazy with the customization options that are provided in this $40 package immediately anyways. But yeah, the character design's a little bit rough. Some of the color grading on some of these people, I'm just like, oof. Like, we're gonna really on the outfits, yes. We're really gonna put yellow and like green and red, like just the hodgepodge that doesn't really make sense. Blue, purple, silver. I'm like, this is just a lot of on the eyes, and it doesn't look great. I do think that the characters are very well rendered, meaning like this does look like a next gen shooter. But man, oh man, it's tough with this team, with some of the colors of these characters. I also do think that the game is a little bit content light, where sure you have your kill confirmed, you have your King of the Hill, deathmatch, domination. Then there's some competitive modes where you die and you can't get back in until the next round. This game needs a payload mode. I know that everyone like knows what that is and thinks that, oh, you gotta do something different. Sometimes you don't need to do something different. Sometimes you just need to rock with what works. In a payload mode in this game with the time to kill with the agents would work really well. But with the modes that are in the game, there's a lot of fun to be had. Concord overall is a very good shooter. I would love to see it come to PlayStation Plus one day, just so more and more people can experience this game. But if you are looking for just a great game that you can go and hop into, have a bunch of fun with it, and honestly have those late nights of just having a few games of TDM, playing a game of domination, and then going to bed, this is perfect for that right now. And for me, that's sort of what I want in my game library. And it's hitting really hard. I'm really enjoying my time with Concord. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Right on. Do you think player base affects your review at all?
Not as much as
Are you worried about it dying quickly, so then you wouldn't even be able to play it like in this capacity? You know what I mean?
Currently, no. I'm hopping into games. It's only taking 30 to 45 seconds to match make every single time. Sure, certain game modes, the modes where it is every single time you die, you don't respawn. It's a little bit more tactical. Those games take about a minute and a half to 2 minutes to get back into, and that's a little bit of a tough one, a tough pill to swallow. But I'm not too worried about the player base completely shrinking. There's a lot of fun to be had. Yes, you do run into players that were on your team or now on the opposite team for the next game and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's still fun. It's not taking away from the fun that I'm having. I think that this game is just a really dang good shooter, and I'm having a great time with it.
Right on. Yeah, I haven't hopped in yet. I've been playing Black Myth all weekend, so I'm looking forward to getting back to it. We're playing it on Monday, so I'll give some sort of take on it eventually. But for now, it's tough. It's tough to see this game come out and not do well like this. I want every game to succeed. I want every game to be good. But I think that like it's really comes down to we've argued about this. It's the $40 price tag. I think this game would have a completely different audience if it had a bigger price, a less of a price tag, or just no price tag at all and just was free to play. I think that it should be next month's free game on PlayStation Plus, and maybe that'll save it. But I'm shocked that it wasn't this month's. That felt like a shoo-in, in my opinion. That would be how they get an audience, how they show people, hey, this game's fun. Like, you should play this or whatever, and then maybe get some good word of mouth. But like after the beta, I was like, the writing is on the wall for this. This is tough to watch. So
yeah,
even though it is fun.
The fun part of this game is it's good and easy to pick up. But as good tactical shooters and hero shooters have it, there's so much more complexity that you can dive into when it comes to agent selection and utilizing these characters' movesets in a way that's actually impactful to the battlefield. It's good. Like this is a really good video game. And honestly, it makes me sad that it's not succeeding a little bit more, where like the merit of this game is it's a really good game. And I do think that, honestly, my understanding of it, I got from playing with Andy, Snowbike Mike, and having a little bit of them talking about like the specializations of the
Mhm.
agents in the 6 different classes and be like, oh, that's awesome. And it's not harped on. You aren't taught that immediately.
Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing.
And so
Was that a thing in the beta?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then like the modes that we disliked in the beta were the you don't respond mode.
Yeah.
It's just way tighter and way better now that you have that understanding. Also, if you win one of those modes, you have to switch agents, so you can't just roll back out as your main. It's good. Like, it's really good. I'm like, oh shit, that's cool. I like that. This game has so many moments that like you get it at face value and you're just like, all right, this is a good time. Like when you and I were playing that first beta night, it was like, it's kind of fun. Like this is like 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 fun. My enjoyment of it is only increased. There was a moment I told you, I was like, I was at like that 6.5 before this game got fully released, and then I got to that 7. There were I've had 7.5, 8 out of 10 moments while playing this game. This has been my nightly ritual since we got codes on it on Tuesday. Was finish up the day, finish up stream. It's 10 p.m. Hop on Concord for an hour, listen to a podcast, and it's been perfect for me. Like I've really enjoyed that every single night, and there's not a lot of games that do that.
I legitimately don't think a single person who has picked up Concord has not said it's fun. It's not fun.
Yeah,
like everybody seems to think it's fun. It's just not $40 worth of fun for a lot of people.
I'm gonna.
You can't tell somebody else who's not interested to pick it up.
The biggest endorsement of this game that I can give it is this game is 100% worth $40, not in the year 2024.
Yeah,
when there are amazing titles like Fortnite, like Apex, like Marvel Rivals coming down in December with every agent free, like it's really hard for me to go and call up our buddy Jason and be like, hey dude, we're gonna be having a great time on Concord, play. Yeah. Like that's a tough sell, and it sucks because I'm like, do I think that the quality is here for $40? Like for me, a story game, I'll spend $70 if it's a great game and it's 10 hours of fun and that's it. This is asking for $40 and I'm 25 hours in plus the beta hours, like, and having a blast with it. This experience to me was worth $40, and so it sucks. I'm really like this week's been a tough one to be a gamer in my opinion, where it's just like, oh, this is a great game. It's DOA because there's just other amazing titles that you can't convince your buddies to pick up a $40 title, where that used to not be an insane thing to ask, but now it is because free to play is, in my opinion, and this was potentially going to be my hot take, free to play is fucking killing this industry at times. When it works, it works, and when it doesn't, it destroys not just the other games that are trying to be free to play, but it really hurts the multiplayer scene. If you're not a big dog coming in and swinging, you're kind of screwed. Marvel Rivals is going to do it because it's Marvel and the gameplay's good. If the gameplay was just good, it wouldn't be able to do it. It's the IP that's helping push that.
right.
Here's a prime example. New IP.
But people hate the IP just based off of that first trailer. They're like, no,
I know.
I don't like it.
But my whole thing is, we say it on this channel all the time. Support new IP. New IP is super important. And then for a really good game to come out that's new IP, for it to legitimately, like, it's been our line the whole weekend of like 697 players was the peak on Steam, or 679. One of those two numbers might have been flipped. That's tough. That's really tough. And I honestly,
it's catastrophic.
Yeah, and we knew this. Like the writing was on the wall with it. But as somebody that really harps on the people that make our video games are like really important people, you know, and provide us this medium that we love, for them to have worked on something really hard, and that for it to be this good, for it to just be like, you're 700 people on Steam peak, that's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow.
It was a bad decision from the jump, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like, how did nobody come to them in the 8 years this took to develop? 8 years.
Yep.
$100 million apparently that like it took them to develop and say, hey, this is a bad idea. Like, you need to understand that PlayStation is known for single player, first party, high quality video games. We're going to try to break into this. It's going to be an uphill battle. You have to make something super marketable, super easy to jump into, something that our fans will want to play. And I understand that they went with it for like the vignette stuff, but like
The vignette, by the way, week 1 is that it's about the galactic map. It's about the world, like hopping into it. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, nobody cares. It's because the world and like the characters people don't like from that first trailer, and then from like.
By the way, I liked. You can see our live reaction to that trailer.
Yeah.
I was in on the team.
Weird.
No, because I'm somebody that is still in the boat of it's not just Marvel humor does it for me. I'm like, oh, this looks creative. Like this.
It doesn't though because it's copying Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not creative. Even if you like Guardians of the Galaxy and you think that's fun and good and you still like that, that's fine. I'm saying that it's not creative.
I do think that we're talking about genres at this point where it's like, okay, sci-fi genres with humor is just Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's the only thing that can get to do
It's
that
not
at this point.
Like the whatever guy, the
Lennox,
it kind of like acts like Star-Lord.
I know,
and then
but
you have the big guy who acts like Drax. Like
but
it's like,
but having a cool protagonist and a big like that's all within media. That's not just the crew with Guardians. That is legitimately in media fucking everywhere. So once again, it goes back to my hot take a couple weeks ago. We're just gonna write this thing off because it's just another hero shooter. I
will say about the hero shooter thing that I find really weird because the conversation about Deadlock is going on right now, the new Valve game. Dude, why is everybody like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. It's a hero shooter, right? As far as I understand it.
That's what I know basically
why
nothing
is
about
nobody
this.
saying that there's too many hero shooters now for this? It's weird. I mean, just say that you don't like Concord, like you don't like the vibe that it's going for. Don't say that it's just a hero shooter thing.
Yeah.
I think that
which,
is
in my opinion, that's totally fine to go and say. If you don't fuck with Concord and you don't like that vibe, that's fine.
Just say that. Don't say there's too many hero shooters.
Yeah, well, we can't do.
Too many hero shooters.
There's not too many hero shooters. In my opinion, there's not too much of any game. It just depends on whether the game is cool or not. So, I like the best part of this podcast is yes, we get to do the review during the podcast. We don't have to like shoot something separate. We were able to just do that on the fly live and everything. This sucks. The conversation after the fact really. I mean, I was like teared up because I'm just thinking about the devs like for this game. Like I cannot imagine how much hard work went into this one. And
but like I said, it's one of those situations that you feel for them. But like, how did we get to this point?
But
how did nobody come in and say something?
But do you not think that there's a character designer on this team or somebody that's a map designer? The maps in this game fucking awesome.
Maps are cool.
But do not like that person who worked his or her ass off or their ass off where it just. They didn't make the fucking choice for it not to be free to play, and they have to deal with this.
It's not necessarily that it's free to play. It's like you talk about the character designs. Like the character designs in this game are bad.
There's some bad ones. Yeah,
that like it's just like who wants to play as certain like most of these characters. Like they just aren't lovable. So, I mean, like dupes some of them, like you would get in like a
Overwatch
or Overwatch. Like Overwatch
Valorant.
is such an easy sell that like it's just like you're like that like. And you have people of all walks of life in Overwatch, lots of representation. It's great, but like, and people are talking about like there's a whole other conversation going on with this.
It's not fun.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot going on that's wrapped up in all of this that like really does suck. And I think the game should just be judged on the merits of like what it is. But like, it has nothing to do with that when we're talking about like character design. We're just talking about like you said, like the outfits and like the little accoutrements.
The color grading and like the color combinations are like
the color on the outfits.
Outfits is it's just tough. And I mean, it's really funny because we're like Concord review. We're doing it today. We're gonna throw it at the end of the podcast because there's other things that we want to headline and talk about a little bit more. But like. We're going to post this review, and we're not like I would love for this review because I'm super passionate about this game because like I think it's important for new IP that it's not just new IP. It's new IP that's good. Like this game is good and it's new IP. So a good game that's new IP, I'm going to support it.
Worth of good.
Once again, I think that the quality and the amount of time and the amount of fun that I am having is $40 worth of fun. And if this game was free to play, I would throw it a 10 spot for a season pass day one, but
right.
I wouldn't spend $40 But they probably did the math, and because I assume that Sony and PlayStation is extremely smart when it comes to this, and they were like,
there's no way they did the math and said it's worth it to release this at $40 to 600 people. Like,
I mean,
there's no
how
way.
many? I will say, a majority of, like, you go and you pop open the screen and you can see my crossplay's on, so like I can't play with PC players. I don't see PC player playing this ever. Like, it's always PlayStation folks.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that this. I know this might sound wild. This game sold 10,000 copies at most.
Yeah. We were talking about it, and I said 100,000. You said no way.
Yeah, no way.
And I think it peaks out at 50, maybe.
Yeah. And if they want to go, and I want people to play this game, I think that this is a really good game. I think that the combat is super fun. I'm so excited for a group stream. This is one of those that, like, I don't care about the views tomorrow. I don't care about, honestly, even you guys having like the most fun time. I'm so thankful that we have somewhat of a platform to support a good new IP game, and hopefully the fun we have can maybe convince somebody in our audience to go and buy it and play it with me late night on this Tuesday, because I'm having fun.
I just
I'm having
don't
so
feel
much
like
fun.
in good conscience I can be like, hey, like, go out and buy this game when
I'm
not sure it's going to be how long it's going to be around for.
Once again, my job as the reviewer am to go and say, did I have what's my experience with this game?
Right.
And that's all I'm giving you guys. I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying that like this game is going to be the next big thing. It's not. It's proven that it's not going to do that. So you as a consumer need to understand what you're signing up for with that purchase decision. But like, my thing is, if you're in a spot where you can go and spend $40 on a game because you're having and you just want to play something for 2 weeks multiplayer wise for $40 and have a fun time, it's there. It's a good game. You can have a bunch of fun for a couple weeks with this. That's literally what I'm doing, where I'm like, cool, I'm going to play it. I played it all last week, had a blast. I got to play with Andy and Mike one of the nights, and I was like, rock and roll. We're laughing. The biggest compliment I can give this is Andy, Mike, and I are playing. Andy's the only one on stream. And the dynamic between Snow Mike, Mike, and Andy is Snow Mike consistently tells Andy, just one more, bro. Just hop in. One more, right? Andy, we get on, we play 3 games, and Andy's like, all right, this next one's gonna be the last one, y'all. Thanks, it's been a great stream. He was streaming something before it. And then we played a game, and we won a close one. And the fun that we had, he's like, all right, like one more. I'm like, you normally don't get this from Andy. Like, you don't normally get the, like, we're going to keep going. And then we play like 5 more games because it just was so much fun. And I'm thankful for moments like that. Like, this game provided that amount of fun for me and the friends to have a good moment. Like, it's tough. It's a tough conversation. And this game, the entire duration, this thing got revealed in May 31st. And the entire conversation was about, this game is not going to be good. And I assure you, as somebody that's played 25 hours of Concord, this is a good video game. It is. And I will, like, I know that this review's going to post, and there's going to be people that are like, this man's in Sony's pockets. This game sucks. And I'm like, you haven't played it. Like, you don't get it. The mechanics in this game are good. Like I said, something I want to harp on is it is so delicate to get the time to kill in an FPS game dialed in a way that feels good and right. And they nailed it with these characters and these abilities. They nailed it. It's perfect. So shout out to the team at Concord. I really hope that this game gets played by more people, because it should. It's a really good game. And 7 out of 10. Cool.
Right on.
Let's draft.
All right. I'm entering it, and I go first, I believe. I feel like you've gone first the last few weeks.
Yeah, sure.
I don't even want the first pick.
The first pick's the most obvious first pick. But by the way, this is what I was talking about, like, with the crew bonuses. It's sick.
Today, we are drafting cool video game characters, total badasses, cool dudes. You know what I'm saying? And with my first pick, we're going to go with Master Chief. He's the kind of guy who walks away from an explosion and doesn't look back. I need a weapon. What are you doing? Finishing the fight. Just like so cool. Like every single time he opens his mouth, you're like, this is just the most badass person on the planet. Just super cool, quiet, stoic, awesome, cool guy. Master Chief is my first pick.
Number 4 on my board.
Oh.
I have 3 people ranked higher.
You're going to go with Nathan Drake
so
first.
I get the 1-2 punch. Connor says I'm going to go with Nathan Drake first.
Uh-huh.
He's not in my top 3 either. My first pick is the ultimate badass, Leon Kennedy. There is nothing cooler than backflipping for no reason. And this man loves to do exactly that. There's nothing cooler that a single person can do than a backflip at any given moment. And this man is all about it. He's just cool. Sure, RE2, he's figuring some things out, but he's on that journey to be the ultimate badass. And then RE4, he's just sick. He's just awesome to play as. It's a roller coaster action adventure horror game, and you get to step in as the ultimate badass, Leon Kennedy, with my first pick. I was going to go and say, I was like, Leon Kennedy, on this channel, we have said many, many times, the ultimate badass. Like, he is, in my opinion, just that guy. And then with my second pick, shocking no one, I'm choosing Snake. Snake is just sick. He's a really fun protagonist to play as throughout the Metal Gear games. I'm taking all versions of Snake as we do on these drafts. It just super, super cool. Whether he's driving a motorcycle or taking in a fist fight with a shirtless man, he's just sick. He's super, super cool, dripped out 24/7, Solid Snake.
With my second pick, I'm going to go with another stoic being, a silent protag. I'm going to go with Samus Aran, just an absolute badass, powerful character, just exudes badassery, exudes cool. She does not give a flying fuck. She's on a mission. She's going to do her thing, and she's going to get out of there on top. It's going to be awesome. Samus Aran. Awesome character.
Love the pick.
Cool.
On my board. Love the pick.
My third pick, I'm going to go with the man who saved the entire galaxy. We're going to go with Commander Shepard. This man is shooting his way through the galaxy, an entire, complete badass. Just everybody's falling in love with him. No matter what, across the universe, everybody loves Commander Shepard, and he's leading his crew to victory. Commander Shepard, just super cool. Just awesome. Love him.
I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
Because, now with my third pick, I will take Nathan Drake, who is just so much fun 24/7. It's super simple, Connor. No. Like, just super quippy, fun, exciting, consistent badassery. Super cool, Nathan Drake. And honestly, I was 8 years old, and I was like, man, all I need is a white t-shirt and a ring on a necklace to look like a badass. That's it. And that's Nathan Drake for you. Yeah. I'm going to go in the same direction as Connor. For some reason, everyone wants to get with this person. They're just cool. They're brooding. I'm going to choose Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII.
So lame. He is not cool.
Dude, so cool.
There's nothing cool about Cloud.
Have you seen his big ass sword? It's really fucking cool. Cloud is obviously a very brooding protagonist because of the story that is being told around him. But he's still sick. And for some reason, everyone wants to date him. And that is exemplified no other than in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Everyone wants to go on a date with this man. So shout out Cloud with my fourth pick.
Especially Barrett. Dude, the Barrett date with Cloud, my God.
And that's the one I got. It's literally the one I got. Barrett's my guy.
Guys being dudes on a
Barrett tearing up. Come on, man. Oh, what a game. Let's play Rebirth.
With my pick right
now? I won. So you have
4 and
two.
5. Yeah. With my fourth pick, I'm going to pick the cool character in Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to pick Tifa. Tifa is a complete badass, amazing woman. I want to have a drink with Tifa. I want to hang out. I want to bro it down with Tifa. She's awesome. She can also kick my ass. You love Tifa. We all love Tifa. Tifa with my number 4 pick. With my number 5 pick, I'm going to go with V from Cyberpunk 2077. I play as the woman V. I think her voice actress is way better. So we're gonna go with V. Racing against the clock, has this mission that they're going on. Badass, super cool. Dealing with Johnny Silverhand, handling all these missions, shooting guys down, not taking any shit from nobody. V with my final pick.
A lot of great picks are left up on the board.
There's a lot of good picks left.
Yeah. I do want to throw out there, and I know I'm not going to pick anyone from this game. I did have 4 Final Fantasy VII characters written down.
Who else?
I had Sephiroth, Zach, Cloud, Tifa.
You are crazy. Sephiroth is a whiny little baby.
Badass.
Zach is a little puppy.
He's the puppy.
Yeah, but he's not
He's
badass. He's not
such
cool.
a badass. Connor, all I need to do to describe how cool Sephiroth is the Angeal Genesis Sephiroth fight.
That's not about being cool.
It's
The
so
fight,
cool.
The fight is cool,
Yeah,
but
and he's
like
providing
he is
that.
not cool.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
All these people are cool mostly because of their actions, and that is an action of
I'm
the
talking
character.
about their personality for the most part.
I understand, but Samus, silent protagonist, is cool because what she's doing.
She's cool because she's quiet. She's cool because she just looks at danger in the face and is like, yeah, fuck it.
And Sephiroth is the motherfucking one-winged angel. He's badass. All right, come on.
Hey, whatever you say.
But yeah, I'm not going to choose anyone from FF7 as as my last pick here. There's a few areas I could go to. Arthur Morgan, super badass. Ezio, just from the Assassin's Creed games, like is really cool. Not like my favorite character in gaming, but really fucking cool, really badass. But with my last pick, I'm gonna go to Daddy himself. I'm gonna choose Kratos. Kratos is badass. He is super cool, rageful, terrifying, and legitimately for a long time, as much as people don't want to admit it, because yes, everyone loves 2018 and Ragnarok way more, as they should. People loved stepping into the rage monster seat for a bit and absolutely just slaying gods in the original trilogy. Kratos is a badass, and he's my last pick.
He's not cool. Kratos isn't cool.
He's badass.
That's not the word
He's
that
cool.
I would use for him at all.
Kratos is absolutely
like,
cool.
He's just like pissy all the time. He doesn't know how to handle social situations with his son. He's just mad and like whatever. He like brooding is so different than mad. Brooding is like, oh, whatever. Like I could care less. Or whatever. He's just like, you know what I mean? Like that's not cool.
I think it's cool.
I saw Kratos on like a lot of people's lists, and I was like, I'm not putting him on my list. That's silly. I had Lara Croft up there.
Yep, Laura was on my list. I had Marcus Phoenix on my list.
I did not.
Yeah, Dante was also on my list. And then I did have Donkey Kong also on my list.
Cassandra from
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
She does not put up with any shit. She's awesome. Cassandra's awesome. I was between Tifa. I thought about going Final Fantasy because I had Tifa and Auron on there, and I decided to just go Tifa instead.
Okay.
Doom guy.
Pretty badass, but he seems pretty angry, Connor. He can't be on your list.
He's not angry. He's not mad at anybody. He's just there to do the mission. Kratos is fucking mad. He is. I had Sadie Adler from Red Dead Redemption 2. She's way more cool than
Arthur. Yeah.
Like Arthur has a great personality, and I love Arthur, but I wouldn't say he's cool.
When do we do it, Connor? When do we sit down and you make me get through all of RDR2?
Same day you do Persona 5.
So we're gonna come off a 140-hour Persona playthrough, and then just roll straight, put a cowboy on my head, a hat on my head, and just say, "This is your life now, man."
This is like the stream where, like, did you see the guy who broke the world record for staying awake?
No, but that's funny.
For like 11 or 12 days, and by the end he was standing up, and somebody was just like keeping him up. like he would start falling. It's really dangerous and it's really bad. He should not be doing that. But like Twitch tried to like shut it down, or Kick did. They were like, you have to stop. And they were like, we are gonna keep going.
You guys are gonna Weekend at Bernie's me while playing RDR2 and just like put the triggers in a way that I can go and
apparently he's fine as I understand it.
Good for him. But man, don't do that. But yeah.
My final one is Captain Price.
Oh, Price is sick.
Oh my god.
How about Soap McTavish, dude? Come on.
No. It's all
or
about
Woods.
Price.
You get down with Woods.
Price
Frank
over
Woods. I agree it's Price over Woods. But yeah, there's a lot of badass characters. I do think that this is officially the second longest podcast in history.
It's the most longest basic podcast we've ever done.
A non-spoiler cast.
Yeah.
Do we figure out fully what the plan for this special pod is next week?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to tease anything, but next week you guys will be getting bonus pod. There is a really good chance that is something. And you don't need to worry about it. There's things.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just sort of connected some dots, and I'm like, okay, that probably makes sense.
Okay.
All right.
So that's your casual gaming conversation for this week. Remember to join up in the Discord to join that game club if you're interested. Link in the bio on our TikTok page, as well as a link to our merch. Twitch streams Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/co_op64. Torg Gaming Expo meet and greet /panel November 2nd. Apple Podcast reviews. Be sure to do that. Helps the channel out a lot. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We really appreciate you. Peace out.